Spencer Pratt, you will obviously never be as relevant as you were. How does that make you feel?
Oh, yeah? Fuck you. Fuck this interview. Stupid podcast. Fuck this shit's over in here.
Is he actually leaving?
What is up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy.
Okay, here we go. Mr.
It's it.
Pratt.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this outfit.
Sorry,
I love it. Oh my God, so nice to meet
The
you.
devil's attacking me.
Oh my God, the devil?
Well, the second I get in my car, it's never happened in my life. It says engine coolant. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So I go to the gas station. I'm like, oh, buy engine coolant. I put it in, and it's like spraying out. I call BMW service. They're like, you need to tow it right now. I'm like,
You're like, I gotta go to Call Her Daddy.
no, fuck the car. No.
Oh my God. Okay, can you mic yourself up immediately? Because we're getting into this.
This is very fancy.
Wait, isn't it cute? Spencer, it's the first time I'm using these.
I feel honored.
I'm honored because I knew you were someone that would know how to put it on and use it.
I usually let them do it. That's like the perks.
So I should have done it. Okay, we're going over here to make a drink.
You didn't even get good tequila. No. This is embarrassing. I won't actually touch these bottles.
Wait, are you serious?
Oh, I can't be on camera with that level.
Wait, what do you drink?
I mean, I was bootleg enough would be like Clase Azul is as low as we're gonna go.
This is all I had from like random.
I'll watch. You're not getting me on camera. I mean, I drank this in.
Wait, do I have anything
2000.
else? Spencer, I tried.
You don't have a 1942? Come on. Spotify, what is going on? Budget cuts.
I have a champagne bottle. Okay, so Spencer, right off the bat, is just shitting on me for not having.
I also needed this.
Good. Take it.
That car coolant, that was a lot.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about what happened.
All right, so I get in the car. I was going to be very early. I was going to sit in the car, meditate, just visualize the best freaking podcast ever. And I get in the car and it says engine coolant. I'm like, I'm not a mechanic, but this seems bad. So I go to the car place real quick. I'm like, I need engine coolant. I'm very late to the biggest podcast of my life, statistically. And so he's like, oh my God, it's leaking everywhere. And I'm like, pour more in. So we pour more in. I called BMW. They're like, you need to tow it here, right? I'm like, I'm not towing it. They're like, the car could shut down on you on the way there. I'm like, well, then it's going to shut down because I'm not missing this. Let's pop the Dom.
Okay. Do you want to pop the Dom?
I mean, I'll drink that.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah,
let's do that. That's a better way to go about it. Okay, I feel like you should do the honors.
You know, here's the thing I've learned, because Heidi's a professional champagne bottle opener. I used to like the excitement of.
Right, like you want to spray it all over my camera?
And she's like, no, you're not even supposed to have like barely a noise. It's not a game to you guard that you come in like that. You treat it like that because people are always, oh, you're gonna. Right. So the key, what I've been taught, is you just slowly. It's less exciting, but let's not waste this money.
I mean, kicking off the Call Her Daddy podcast, beautiful.
Cheers to the Daddy Gang.
Cheers.
I am so honored to be involved with your mafia.
I'm so honored you're here. They're gonna love you. Spencer, you are popping off on TikTok. I need to know, what is your strategy?
It was drinking, and then that's why I haven't been TikToking. Well, here's what happened. I don't know how it happened. So what people loved so I had to stop because Heidi was like, you play the hills in the house anymore, like I'm gonna choke you. Like she can't even, it's like nails on a chalkboard. So, and I'm like, honey, these are going viral. Like this one just did 1 million in like 10 minutes. And she's like, I don't care, like stop talking about that. I'm like, it's relevant to a niche micro audience, honey. So
that is fucking hilarious.
It's a hard balance because I'm also blowing up all these people that I can't stand.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, oh, the views, but I'm like, nobody.
I kind of love that Heidi's like, Spencer, knock it the fuck off. And you're like, can't hear you, 1 million views, gotta go.
Oh, this is so delicious.
Spencer?
I can't believe you don't have a charcuterie plate though for us.
Okay, we're going upstairs to the interview. Are you ready? Should we bring this or no? Let's leave it. You need to drive home in your fucked up car.
Oh no, I'm towing it.
Oh, here?
That's
You're towing
a tow
it here?
situation.
Oh, you're towing it here?
I wasn't supposed to get here.
Is Heidi picking you up?
I said I would.
Uber.
Black Uber X. Whatever.
Censor. It's all about the money. Let's go upstairs. Oh my gosh.
All right. Deep breath.
No, I'm praying.
You're praying? Do you want to pray out loud?
Please, God, have this just be the greatest podcast to ever hit the waves of this dimension. Have it just touch so many people's hearts in a positive, enlightening way, God, and just truly be a blessing for everyone's ears. And if they're visually watching this with captions, just when they read it, just have their spirit just be uplifted and inspired. Amen. That was a little too much Holy Spirit. I almost fainted there. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Do you believe in God?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, Heidi took it to the next level because she's like a preacher.
Really?
I was trying to be in the Illuminati when I met Heidi.
Wait, were you really?
Oh, 100%. I didn't realize they're drinking blood and
you're
know,
not
and
into
all
that?
the weird. I thought it was just sex parties, Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, right.
Everybody older than 18. And
Totally. You wanted to be a part of the sex parties.
Not just the party, but
Right. That's
that
a perk.
the Tom Cruise movie. That looked
Totally.
pretty minus people disappearing. It looked like
Totally
my vibe.
Thank you for kicking us off. I feel really zen and calm. I almost just started crying. I don't know if it was tears of joy or laughter, but it was something. You got an emotion out of me.
I mean, it hit me too. I don't know. It's good AC in here, but it was.
You're I almost fainted.
Yeah, I was
Okay, Spencer Pratt, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
I am so honored.
You grew up in California, going to school with celebrities and celebrities' kids. Who was the first famous person you remember meeting in your life?
Oh, hands down, Meryl Streep. I was on the set of Death Becomes Her, I think was the title, where she's falling apart. So shout out, she would deny knowing me at this point, but I think her name was Mamie Gummer. We were BFFs. We were very young. We would go set, and it was Meryl Streep, and I would be chilling on set. So, yeah.
I did not expect that answer. That's fucking baller.
Oh, I mean, I went to Crossroads. The list
right.
goes on, but that's
that's the main.
The cool, just in this mansion, and I mean, then it's next thing you know, I'm having a slumber party with Hillary Clinton, So I mean, my
Wait,
childhood.
hold on. You have to clarify. You're having a slumber party with Hillary Clinton. What do you mean?
So my best friend Charlie, his parents were best friends with the Clintons from Arkansas, and so when I was a kid, I'd always sleep over at Charlie's house. But one night, I was pre-checked. I knew this was going to happen. Yeah. So Secret Service did their thing. I think I was a safe 14-year-old or whatever. And so, yeah, slumber party. I was in the kitchen with Hillary. It was wild.
So you reference your high school and how you were surrounded by a lot of famous people. What were you like in high school, and what did the other kids think about you?
Well, I try to say that I am exactly... I've learned a lot of lessons, but I would say I'm the exact same person that I've always been, and I haven't changed. So, I had just as many people that didn't like me back then. I had, enemies putting up, dicks drawn on my face around town, So I came in hot, So I think because, for my private school world, soccer was our big sport. We didn't have football teams, so... I was, for my world, really good at soccer, so I was on the older teams. So, when I was 15, all the seniors, I was rolling with them. So, everything got fast forward. When I don't watch Euphoria, but when I see clips, I'm like, oh my God, this is the Disney Channel compared to LA and growing up. Now it's crazier because you just die of fentanyl and whatever. So it's definitely darker now. So I pray for these kids, but. It was amazing. Everyone's always like, oh, why don't you write it? People that know me, you should write a memoir. I'm like, Like, no way.
You wouldn't?
Well, right now I just found all these tapes and I was like, maybe I just cut together, like Heidi was calling it, selling Spencer. It was because I really have just been trying to sell myself for all these years. Not my soul, though. That's the one thing I've stayed. That's why I'm not rich and famous, is because I didn't cross that tier of.
What would have crossing that tier looked like, though? Because I think to the world it looks like you sold it.
Oh no, there's a whole nother Satanism level that I didn't unlock.
Like, what would you do?
I mean, what do they do?
Right.
These people that they're not upfront with it, but we're talking a spiritual level, not like, oh, what you say on a show. Like, these people are going.
Okay, so it's interesting because I feel like what you were saying about being in high school, like you were always kind of this like polarizing figure. There are going to be people that like me, and then there are going to be people that don't like me, and that's okay. But when you were younger, did you ever get in trouble for your temper?
Well, in one soccer game, backstory. So in high school, we went to GNCs. You get protein powders, you get energy drinks. So at the time, there was this product called Rip Fuel. And I was like, that's every brand I want to be, ripped and fuel. So, and they had a strawberry flavor one. So I was hitting Rip Fuel before games. You just mix in your water. It's legal. It's like Gatorade for me or whatever. I'd never drink Gatorade though. It's not brought to you by Gatorade. I can't be promoting Gatorade. So yeah, I was all pumped up on Rip Fuel, and it was very competitive. And I was taking this very serious. And so this was the semifinals, and there was like a team little meeting the night before the game that this coach, who no longer the coach for a reason, shout out Fed, the new coach. So the seniors didn't go to this team meeting that was unnecessary the night before a game. Mm-hmm. So the next day, biggest game of the senior year, semifinals, he benches all 8 of the best players, the seniors, hands down the best players, including myself. We're now losing at half, like 2-0. I'm pacing the side of the thing. I'm like, this is like, we get it. Like, and he wanted to make a point, like, we don't need you. Like, he thought they were going to do fine with like whatever. So finally at halftime, we go back in. I go in, score 2 goals, tie it up, so pumped up, score a 3rd goal. Now we're winning. He goes sub. He tries to pull me out. I'm like, I don't know if I flicked him off or whatever. I'm like, I must have been mean, like, what's up? Like, the crowd, this was back when people cared, like living, this was our Friday Night Lights, right? It was probably on Friday too. And so, I went to the sideline and, maybe got in the coach's face. And my mom ran on the field. My mom, this was crazy what he did. So my mom backed me up, but I didn't hit anybody. It was just yelling. He's yelling back. So I get called in because they're maybe going to suspend me. And they're like, you were acting very pumped up. Like, were you on something? I'm like, yeah, Rip Fuel. And they're like, what's Rip Fuel? Can you bring this in to like the principal office? Tom Nolan, Bob Riddle just retired. Bye, Bob. So I bring in the Rip Fuel and they read the back of it, and it had ephedrine in it, which is now illegal. And they decided it was like speed. So I was just dosed up on, Rip Fuel. So that got me not suspended or expelled or whatever. But other than that, like, no, I was teacher. I have tight with all the teachers.
So you got to blame your behavior on Rip Fuel.
I mean, it was a stimulant.
Totally. Was anyone else taking it with you?
The whole team.
Okay, great.
Yeah. But I mean, I was more pumped up.
So who was your first famous friend?
Like that we kicked it with the first famous person we started kicking it with was Paris Hilton. Peaked, the most famous person on the planet. That was when I saw like firsthand real deal, new modern tabloid fame. Because I mean, I had grown up with, A-list celebrity parents, and I saw that's more low key, and this was peak, Paris coming in the game, tabloid cover, energy, paparazzi. And I will always say, I'm not close with her, I don't know her, but she was so consistently nice and she didn't even need to, like, I'm a like entourage hanger on her, like rando, and still got treated with,
That's dope.
So I'll always say, good for you.
That Paris Hilton era was the beginning of it all with paparazzi. Like, do you think that sparked something in you of like, damn?
No, I was telling people at age 16 bringing in Us Weekly covers, telling folks, get ready, I'm gonna be on the cover of Us Weekly. And people were like, what is this? My mom always had tablets, so I grew up with tablets around the house, but nobody appreciated them like I did. Okay, so I was pre-Paris, I was already coming hot. Like there was no doubt in my mind
you were going to be on those tabloids. Okay, but in your head, Spencer, what were you thinking you were going to be on the tabloids for?
I had no idea, but I was like, I'm going to be famous. These famous people have it so figured out. I mean, because when you grow up seeing how famous people live, like, you know, as just eyes on, like the reservation, that's world's over, by the way. Like people are like, oh, he's so thirsty, he still wants to be famous. Like fame isn't even cool anymore now. And I would love to have it, but it's still not, you know, 90s to early 2000s when these people lived. I mean, they were taking helicopters, landing on, just the rules have changed to the game. So what I grew up thinking fame is so different. Like I wouldn't grow up now and be like, oh, all due respect to TikTok, I love being viral on TikTok, but I don't think I'd be like, oh my God, I want to be a viral TikToker as like what I was chasing.
If you had grown up in Ohio, like, do you think because of where you grew up and what you were around is why you wanted to be famous? Because you got to see
100%.
Yeah.
Like, I think in Ohio, one of these other states, I would have ended up in, like, Delta Force and gone in the military or been a spy or something. Yeah, that was my brand. That's why I don't have tattoos, because that was always like, well, if I am going to be Jason Bourne, you can't have tattoos. So, you know, like, I was, like, deep
logical.
But the problem was I lived in the Palisades. I was like, I'd get killed or, like, go to Nobu.
Right.
Like,
I want to go to Nobu, not have to go and, like, fight crime.
In a different state, that's the energy I have.
Okay, I was looking this up and nowhere is this story. When and how did you meet Brody Jenner?
Rewind to 8th grade. I won't say her last name. Maybe she's anonymous. Heather was the it girl on the 8th grade soccer team. And I was on the soccer bus because they had the guys and girls on the same soccer bus. Brody played no sports. So 8th grade, Heather was the hot superstar girl. And Brody was her boyfriend. And so I was like, this dude. And Brody at this time thought he was, you know, it was pre-Eminem, I think. But Brody was like a large Eminem. Like, no pun intended. You know, he was a bigger guy. He loved to melt cheese. I later found out he just melt a cube of cheese and just like eat it with a spoon. So he then got ripped and like changed. But this Brody was like a rapper, melted cheese. And I was like, how is this happening? So we had just beef in the sense I was like, how is this your girlfriend? Like we have soccer practice together. We have way more in common. So I don't know what I said, but we got in like the only little shoving match in middle school. So we had beef. Right? But then years later, this girl that I was seeing, Casey, I won't say her last name because I'm not trying to catch a case. She was dating me and somebody tells me that's Brody's girlfriend. I'm like, she's not Brody's girlfriend. Like, so I bring it up to her and I'm like, do you have a boyfriend? And she's like, well, I didn't think we were like exclusive care. I was like, oh no, I don't care. It's all good. But it's like, I reach out to Brody through mutual friends. I'm like, yo, you know, I know we're not cool or whatever, but we should meet at Don Antonio's and talk, you know, cause I guess I had heard he like loved this girl. And I was like, and so we meet up and I'm like, your girlfriend is not your girlfriend. He's like, and I'm like, I didn't know, like she told me, but when I found out, that's why I called you. And he's like, I'm going to come. I'm like, no. You know, this is pre all these teen movies. We should have made a team. And I was like, I think we play this out a little bit. So we started becoming best friends on like making plans with her. And then the other person would he'd cancel. And then she'd call me and I'd be like, yeah. And then she'd get those plans. And like, we did this for a while to the point where like, you know, maybe we crossed the line or whatever, you know, but it was like, you know, you want to play the game.
We'll play the game.
Yeah, let's play it. So we became best friends this was probably 18.
How did you get cast on The Hills?
So now we're going back to, I'm now in college. I don't know how I see something about the Osbournes making $25 million for and I had seen the show. I was like, oh, this is entertaining. They got dogs pooping. Ozzy yells like, da. And so I'm like, I'm going to make a reality show. So I call Brody and I'm like, we got to meet at PF Chang's when PF Chang's had just this is like P.F. Chang's was Mr. Chow's at this point. There wasn't Mr. Chow's. Like this was the hottest Chinese food spot you could go to. So we meet at P.F. Chang's. He brings Chucky, his like consigliere like advisor, Chucky DeCoo, and so I'm like, I want to make a reality show about you. And he's like, oh, I don't know about that. And Chucky's like, you should do it to Brennan. Brennan's like, oh, this is my advisor. And I'm like, and he's like, here's the deal. If you come to my house tomorrow at 8 a.m. with the camera, start filming, I'll do it. And he's calling my bluff because I'm a sleeper in at this time. Like I'm not trying to be up all the way in Malibu, like at Cross Creek. So I had a camera because I just tried to shoot a documentary in Brazil about like I tried to make my own Taken, like pre-Taken with like a kidnapping, and I shot this full film that I was like,
can you please release that?
It's pretty hardcore because it was like I use real people, and like people that see it are like, this is so inappropriate and intense. But like at that time, kidnapping was like the big thing, and I was already in Brazil, and I was like, I need to make so it's too real, like it's like so I'm like people are like, whoa, like it was like, oh, we're tourists, and then boom, like the vans come and duct tape, like it's crazy. You guys should like, but it like I could have, if I had like a good editor, I would have won a Sundance because it was like no act, like I went to the favelas, gave people cash, all real guns from like, got real cops to like, I mean, it was so crazy because I want to be a filmmaker, like I didn't, like that was clout, was like Michael Bay, like
totally,
so I was like, I'm
that
making,
was your moment.
So I edit this, I show Brody, he's like, bro, like, don't you dare show anybody this, like you will go to jail. But I mean, everyone's in on it,
right. Nothing bad is happening.
Yeah,
but it looks a little.
Yeah, and Brody's like, people are gonna be a little concerned this was your girlfriend at the time. Like, it's like she wanted to be an actress, like she was an actor. There's clearly evidence showing this was,
was fine.
Everyone was fine, and like.
But it was a little too real.
It was as real as it gets. It was like so.
Okay, so
like
you
if
don't
I needed to kidnap someone in Brazil, like I have the full kind of just. So I had the camera. The good camera, GL2 Canon. And so I show up 8 a.m. I have this one tape. Like I rewatched this the other day. I show up, camera on him, in his nose, just trolling him, like pushing it in. He's like, oh. So I tell my parents I'm withdrawing from USC and I'm taking a leave of absence. They're like, what? I'm like, I'm gonna make a reality show. They're like, oh my God. I'm like, don't worry, I can go back. I mean, at this point, they're like, I'm glad he's back from Brazil. So I started just filming everything in the house, but his stepdad is a superstar, mega success, and in real life, he's literally telling me, stop fucking filming me, get the fuck out of my house. And, at the time, Paris and Nicole were on Fox.
Yeah.
So I was saying, this is Fox, Dave. I didn't appreciate who he was. Brody said that he makes elevator music. Like that was
This is David Foster.
like, so that's my percent. And I'm like, oh.
Like you make elevator music?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, like that was the energy. Like Brody's like, says you make elevator music. So I had no like, oh, it's David Foster. I'm like in his face. He's swearing at us. He's like, get the fuck out of my house. And so my head was like, we have a bigger we have a bigger mansion. There's more dogs here. They had like 10 dogs shitting everywhere. And he was a superstar. And then we have Brody's mom, Linda Thompson, who at one time Elvis was trying to marry, dated Elvis for 5 years. Linda's incredible TV legend. So she's playing all into it and letting us like, let the boys do the boys, So, and I'm living the life too. I'm never stopping filming because they got the chef. I'm going in the fridge. I got a plate that says Dave. I'm eating his food all day from the chef. And we edit right there, just like, a few minutes. On Sunday night, I get a call from this guy and he's like, Spencer. I'm like, who's this? And he's like, it's Peter. I'm like, Peter who? And he's like, Peter Chernin. He's the chairman of News Corp that owns Fox. And he's like, you have a meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. with Gail Berman. I'm like, cool, who's Gail Berman? He's like, Spencer. She's the president of Fox Television. She knows the deal. Just go to the meeting. I'm like, okay. And he hangs up. I'm like, okay. So I called David Foster to like talk shit. I'm like, going to Fox, Fosmag, what's up? Talking all this smack. This is where he murked me out because he didn't have like, now he's like, oh, this is real. So he didn't have faith in me. Like, I don't think he knew what level I'd already got it done.
Yeah.
So he calls his boy, because David's Canadian. he calls his homie from Canada that like they had tried to do some projects together in the past. And he's like, you got to go to this meeting. So I pull up like out of a movie and I get to the Fox lot right there. Every time I drive by it now, I still am like, God, what a memory that you just can't even make up. And I pull up, I'm like, Spencer Pratt for Gail Berman. And they're like, oh, sorry, somebody already used your drive on. I'm like, what does that mean? They're like, you're going to have to park on the street. And like, I'm like, wait, what? So now I'm like parking down Pico, like running. And I'm in my like dumb purple shirt that, you know, that I thought was like a fancy shirt, you know, that I didn't have like, I didn't like have designer clothes or whatever. So I had like this stupid purple shirt on. Somehow later in that day, Peter Chernin sees me, he's there and he's like, don't you ever wear that dumbass shirt ever. I'm like, oh, okay. But so I go into the meeting and I get in the elevator and this guy in this full suit is smoking a cigar and we're going up in the elevator and he's a big old guy and he's like, you know, I'm like, who's this guy? And these other guys in suits. And so they're like walking with me and we're all walking. I'm like, no, they're all going in the same place as me. So Gail offers us in that meeting $3.7 million. I'm like, yeah, deal, fucking deal. And they're like, no, then we're going to go see some, we're going to ABC. Da, da. And I'm like, who the fuck are these? Like, no, deal. And so they jacked me and they like, if I hadn't called David, I would have had so much more creative control, but I was 20.
Right.
And so then I find out like, you know, I get a lawyer and they're like, yeah, they're saying you're not the executive producer. I'm like, that sounds like I am that. And they're like, yeah, they're saying you're not. So I call Peter. I'm like, they're saying I'm not. And he's like, makes a call. And then now I'm executive producer. I was the youngest executive producer of a network television show to this day in history. And they try to fight that. And so then they make the show. And at this point, on my first day of filming a Fox show, keep in mind, this is when Fox was peak Fox. We are getting launched with the reboot of Family Guy on Sunday nights before The Simpsons. Our sponsor is Coca-Cola, McDonald's, that we're like getting ads. And they're like, I am going to be a millionaire like in a month. I have my walkie-talkie that says executive producer. Day one, I'm behind camera. They're filming. And then everyone's like, Spencer, you need to go in and like do what you're doing. Cause in it, everyone's always talking shit to me.
Right. Like
in the sizzle and everything. Cause I'm like the like crutch, the bad, like the guy that lives in the guest house energy, the Kato Kalin vibe. Right? So I'm like, nah, I got my walkie talkie. Like, you'll get to keep your walkie talkie. I'm like, okay. So I didn't realize it was like the Matrix pill. Like that was when I sabotaged my entire life of being taken seriously. Crossing in front of that camera, I was like, oh yeah, I get my walkie-talkie still, I got my title, but I didn't get, that was the end of like anyone ever being like respecting you in this business.
But which is crazy to hear too for you, Spencer, because by you, they clearly were like, wait, we're filming this shit and we're not getting the same thing that Spencer came with his DVD, because it was you. Brody was so comfortable with you being like, Spencer, get the fuck out of my face. And like David Foster's like, Spencer, like everyone knew you. So they were giving you that content. They're not going to do it as easily in front of these like random like guys with cameras. So they needed you to get back in there. But that sucks that then your credit basically got taken as in terms of a producer.
So I looked still this whole time not getting that nobody else was going to think this. Looked at myself as an on-camera producer. I was just filming, doing the story bites, da-da-da-da. So that night, Linda has a talk with us, our first night of filming, and she's like, I caught David cheating on me in the studio. And I'm like, well, you know, like, what are we doing here?
Right.
And so like we pretty much just like beg her to like just pause this, you know, and she's like I now appreciate it more, but at the time I was so deep in like, this is our like who cares? Like, let's roll, like let's launch, like, and so she gangstered up and was like, I will do, and I didn't really understand what she meant. Like, I'll do the filming, but I didn't get, so then let's fast forward. The night the show premieres, she's like, I informed Fox that I'm filing for divorce tomorrow morning. And I'm like, what do you know? You know, nowadays that rating's up. People love that dark thing. This is a family friendly Sunday hour. I get my third call from the chairman of News Corp. He's like, Spencer, what the F? We bought a family friendly show for Sunday nights. I'm pulling the plug. After next week's episode, it's done. So we get the one, you know, rated well for the summer. We get one more. and I just lost, and I spent all my money, my first check on my BMW, that now I like didn't have money for gas, figuratively speaking, like, because I was like, game on, we were going to be so rich.
Damn, that's wild. That like day one of filming, she like
so that just
caught him cheating, and you're like, wait, no, we need one, this house to film in.
Everything.
This two, we need the family together, and then the rest of the season, they just like she tried to fake it for you.
Yeah,
guys.
she did, and
Damn.
she's a real good actor. And
Damn.
So I get that call. I'm like, oh my god, I have to go back to college. So now I'm back in college.
Brody Jenner had step siblings at the time. When do you remember meeting Kim Kardashian for the first time, and what was she like back then?
All right, so I just shout out Esquire magazine for profiling me, and I thought this was going to be like positive, but since I said I should be Kim Kardashian, people like got all weirded out about that, but I feel that, so I'm just going to defend myself. So now we're at the first night of the Princes of Malibu, our Fox show. I didn't even know he had stepsisters. I wasn't even aware. Maybe I met them that night. Like, totally irrelevant. A week later, this has been denied, but Brody's the witness, and I don't know if maybe he'll say it, but it's true. We get a call from Kris Jenner, who I don't know, and he puts her on speaker, and she's like, we should do what you're doing in Malibu with our family in the Valley with your dad, Brody. And he hangs up, and I'm like, the Valley? Because like when I grew up, like you did not, this isn't me saying this is what I grew up knowing. There was nobody filming anything in the Valley except pornos. Like that was what that's where they shot.
Totally. Yeah, people used to shit on the Valley. It was
now give me one of those $80 million Valley houses.
Totally.
I guess it's still, you need good AC. I don't, But so we laughed, haha, and I've thought about it a million times. Was that the call that like sabotaged my whole life that I didn't take? But then I really thought about it a million times. They went to Ryan Seacrest, who had a first look deal with E! They had to make a show per his contract, and they went to him, and he had the power of not only E! News, Kiss FM was popping. He just got American Idol. Like that's a solid. I don't think if Brody and I had gone with cameras, shot the Kardashians, it would have been what the Kardashians, like everything came perfect for what their magical portal happened. So I've thought about it a trillion times, but I met her for real in the club. I remember Area, she was wearing like a Hervé Ledger silver purplish dress, and Kim looked like a superstar and was famous. Like she deserves day one jump. She was famous at this point, energetically. She knew who she was going to be. So she had that aura, and like, I was joking with Kim, and we were all having fun. She was totally cool, but that I remember meeting him and like her at the club, and like, then she later filmed on the Hills and organized Heidi's Closet, and they didn't use the footage. And I once said this in an interview, and her publicist was like, this is absolute lie, da 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 da. And then MTV pulled out the clip. Think one time they ever backed me with receipts and like showed unedited Kim. Like every now and then somebody tags me in a tweet of her like tweeting at me like, you, me, Heidi, and Reggie need to go on a double date. And I'm like, how was I so popping in my head that I'm not like following through with this double date? I did follow through when Miley Cyrus tweeted us and we went and double dated with her and that. So I wasn't too insane. But if I had done everything different and if I was like super, like for how thirsty I am, like what I should have done is been friends with everybody. That's what Kim was so good at. And I'm not that type of person. Like, I don't want to go have fake lunches and fake drinks. And what if I had played the game like a pro? I would have gone to drinks all the time with people that hated me and I hated them back. And we'd just all be fake. But it's like, that's the problem with being a real person, which is good for reality TV, but like not for networking and building these, because people will message me like, oh, we should do this and you can reach out to like your celebrity friend. I'm like, my what friends? Like I got my friends from preschool and they don't even want me to name drop that I know them, so
no, I appreciate that, because I think that a lot of people don't know about the Princess of Malibu. Like if you're on TikTok, sorry, but people may not know about it. And I think that it was interesting when you look back at your history that you started this like basically little reality show following Brody around, and Kim is just like there in a scene, and you're like, whoa, like this was the beginning. And then I believe you that Chris called, because it's like you guys were doing it before the Kardashians started it.
No, and at the time, Bruce wasn't
Yes.
Caitlyn. So at the time, Bruce was filming for Princess. So they didn't use any of the footage, but like he would come film,
Right.
and he'd be on it. So he's going back home
Being like, we're
and
filming.
tell like, this is crazy, da 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 da.
Right.
And you know, at the same time, the Simple Life's popping. So Kim's knowing about reality TV through Paris,
Yeah.
and
that's when reality TV really started to pop off, was like slowly like The Simple Life, and then obviously though the biggest I think was when The Hills popped off, and that was when it was like, holy shit, this is reality TV.
And because that's how I got to The Hills.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a 2-part Call Her Daddy podcast.
Spencer's trying to milk this shit.
Come on.
Spencer.
We're gonna merch. Get your merch. CallHerDaddy.com. So wait.
Okay,
So yeah.
go back to college.
So go back to college, and then one day I'm back from class, whatever, and my mom's best friend Lucy, they're in there watching this show, and my mom's friend Lucy like, you should date this girl. She's so cute. I'm like, what is this? And they're watching it. And she's like, date this girl. She's so cute, and it's Heidi. And I'm like, what is this show? Like, how is this even a show? This is season 1. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
And I'm like, this on TV? Like, yeah, it's so cute. And I see one of the names of the executive producers was a guy that Brody and I literally hired. Like, we had a meeting, we hired. So I have his cell phone number. I call him. I'm like, motherfucker, you have a new show and you didn't put Brody and I? And he's like, Spencer, no, it's a set cast of this girl from Laguna Beach. It's not like that. I'm like, oh no, it's like that. We'll see you in the club. Like, I don't think so. That's our show. You got like Hollywood. Like, and this when Brody was like running the clubs, and like, so all due respect, no girl from Laguna Beach is doing a Hollywood show. I'm like, they have a Hollywood show and you're
not including us, like, yeah.
So we're out. This club was called Privilege. Justin Timberlake was just popping with Sexy Can I think. I remember it just like hitting so hard in the freaking club. And so this is when I was very into dancing. You know, this was, people danced back then. People weren't too cool to dance. We wanted to stand around. Like, it was like dancing time. So I was dancing, and then Kristen was at the bar with Heidi, and Heidi had just done season 1. I didn't know what even that meant. Hills was not popping. So Heidi and I clear the dance floor. We're having a great time dancing, hit it off. We all drive back to Brody's house in Malibu. So she ends up spending the night. She says it's love at first sight. I guess now in retrospect it was. But, I had, player, ego, clout, fame vibes. So I was like, and then she we're seeing each other, but she is seeing, she's not exclusive either to me. When I met Heidi, she was writing a book, had chapters, how to outplay the player. She had game galore. She was not this like innocent victim, like, oh my God, Spencer's talking to those playmates. Like, she was talking to old dude over here and old dude here. And like, she had two, like, she had an A-list athlete and an A-list actor she was dating when I was supposedly looking like the bad guy. So if they had showed real Heidi and not this like bootleg, just making girls look like this, like that was where you got to see like an awesome girl that I would fall in love with, who like show a girl with game that
totally
like
you were attracted
this is why I liked her. She was no victim. I wasn't playing her. It was like battle. We were at like a master chess dating. And so
Can you tell us who she was dating?
She was dating Chase Crawford, who was like the hot guy, peak,
Gossip Girl.
Like couldn't be
hot
cooler.
Guy.
So she wasn't like, oh, poor Spencer. Like, there was not that energy.
I love hearing you say that though, because I always felt that vibe from Heidi, but they always cast her as this like damsel in distress, like Jordan's being mean to me, and then she meets you and it's like Spencer's being mean to me. I'm like, that's not the vibe I get from Heidi.
So the problem with Heidi and I, we loved making TV shows and doing what the producer's saying. Here's the problem with The Hills. All male producers, East Coast, waspy freaking dudes, that they're now in charge of representing young women in Hollywood, and they're putting their toxic male weird narrative spins that they that's not facts and it's not real life, because I don't even think any of these guys date, you know, like they don't know, maybe they saw it in a movie or something.
Like they can't fathom a woman like spitting game on a guy and like change your number, like fuck you.
Yeah, way better show too. It's like Real Heidi was, I always say this, people to this day like, oh, how are you still? It's like, because you don't know Real Heidi. Like, you guys are all like, it's like
keeping you on your toes.
Yeah, like they're not showing me begging her to be boyfriend girlfriend. You know, like she's like, I don't want that title. Like, you know, like
she was like, more, So she had
like,
game.
She was a gangster, like, you know.
So now knowing, that's actually a really great story that it goes all the way back to your mom looking at the TV and being like, oh, you should date this girl. And then you guys actually meet and you immediately have a vibe. What was your first impression of Lauren Conrad when you met her?
Daddy gang, let's talk about dating. Okay, I know I am married, but don't get it twisted. So many of my friends are still single and they come to me and they're like, Alex, what should I be doing? And I'm like, get on Tinder. I know that you guys can vet people before you go on dates with them. Then all of a sudden you're not wasting a Friday night. You're having the best time on a Friday night with this date. Tinder cares about every step of your dating journey, and it has plenty of unique safety features like Are You Sure, which vibe checks any messages that seem a bit risky and helps keep message threads a safer place to start a conversation. Share My Date lets your friends know about your plans, and Noonlight discreetly connects you with help if you need it. I want all of you going on dates, Daddy Gang, and having so much fun, and Tinder has your back. You are actually going to be able to be present and focus on your date because of all these safety features put in place. So explore all the possibilities for yourself. It starts with a swipe. Download Tinder today.
What was your first impression of Lauren Conrad when you met her?
All right, so let's do a disclaimer here for, you know, LC stans, because they're always like, oh my God, he still has to talk about LC. It's like, no. I was connected to a television franchise, and this is a co-star that is part of my fame, people. I would love to have never talked to her for about the rest of my life, but I am a great guest, and I am honest and truthful, so there you go. So that's for the comment section. So I mean, nice girl. Like it was all good to the point where I talked Brody into breaking up with Nicole Richie to fake double date with LC. So like, that's the level of how I felt about it. Like, let me help make your life better by bringing the best looking guy in Hollywood right now, who all the girls want to date. I'll get him to break up with his celebrity, you know, superstar girlfriend. I will get him to come onto your show, pretend to be your, you know, interest to just, everyone wins, you know. So like I'm a teammate. I come from being on a team sport. I didn't play tennis. I didn't play golf. Like, the team wins. That's how I've always thought. So I was like, let's all win. We'll double date. And I was already in the, you know, game from like working with the paparazzi for Princess of Malibu and setting up our shoots. And so like, I was like, you know, our first double date, I had us coming out of the Grove, you know. All due respect to Elsie, she'd never been in a tabloid until I unlocked that for her and gave her the, you know, as a teammate, not, you know, I don't want credit. I wanted us all to win. So I had our paparazzi. This is pre the entire world now does this. This was vintage genius, where you work with them instead of like hiding from them. Cause this is when tabloids sold like albums, like you could Drake, you know, 1 week, 3 million sales on Us Week. Like, this was superpowers that I knew, understood. And I just watched the season 2 episode. LC knew, because if you look at her on the couch, she has every tabloid in her lap. That's what she's reading. So don't be mad at me, girl. So we come out of our double date and I'm like, make sure you guys look to the left. You know, this is off camera. Just, I'm really trying to like get us all to hang out and friends, because now Heidi and I are seeing each other, not boyfriend, girlfriend. And she's like, what is, and I'm like, it's our camera. And she's like, you called the paparazzi? I'm like, yeah, to get you in a mag. So that was, I was like, oh, you're not all there. You know, like, don't have a full deck running here as you're trying to be on your second television show. Like, it's not like, I'm all for people who don't want to be famous, but like, you're on a second show. Like, you spun off. Like, I get like it fell into your lap in high school and it came to you and you auditioned, but now you've spun off. You are choosing the path of fame. So now I'm like, so she from the jump kind of was weirded out, like, oh, Spencer's like, that's why she'll say things like, I don't trust him. It's like, you didn't understand. Like, I was ahead of this game. Like, I already saw how this worked on a way bigger scale, because I'm not from Laguna Beach, you know, like I'm from here, and watching Paris, watching how Nicole's an actual, you know, we ended up having a falling out or whatever. I was misquoted, I think. But she's a genius. So like she's a famed genius. So I studied under, you know, like I'll call her a mentor in the fame game. So she just,
Nicole Richie?
she knows the game. That's why Paris called her smartest friend to be her teammate. She didn't call Kim, you know, like, hey, you want to, you know. But so back to like, you know, everything. We were best friends. She's like, you want to meet my dad? Da, da. But eventually the Brody couldn't play pretend anymore. Yeah. I wasn't saying fake date LC. That wasn't the initiative. Like I was like, this would be great. Like Heidi's cool. They're roommates. Like I was hoping it worked out. It didn't work out from night one, you know, like, so once she was on to that, she wanted her amazing wingman, which I under wingwoman totally get, Heidi, to not be with me. So her selfish motivations, she can put it on all these reasons of like, oh, I don't trust him, or she knew Heidi, like she knew Heidi's game. She knew about this, and we know her. These girls were not victims, okay? They had their own television show. They were right in the heart of Hollywood. They're going out every night, getting tables. These aren't these like pilgrims that like were like, oh, these poor little innocent, you know.
They knew what they're doing.
Yeah, these girls are savvy. And I didn't get raised on being on television when I was 16, 17. Like, you're a veteran at this point. Like, yeah, I understood the backside of like tabloids and media, but when it came to making a TV show and like murking out people and like, you know, what comments say this, like this is a black belt level.
Yeah. With regard to your relationship with Heidi, how did you guys separate reality from reality TV to keep your relationship healthy?
Thank God the show was so fake that it was, you know, every time, and now and then Heidi would get a little too drunk. Like one time in Aerie, like she knew, I told her like, we're going to call these playmates. I'm going to bring these girls. And she knew, and she's like, I'll meet you there. And then drunk Heidi's like, asshole. And like, you know, like, and she really got all up in her feelings, you know, as, you know, cause she's like, I don't even want that, you know, but that's the problem when you even play reality. Like there's times where, you know, it affects you in real life. So thankfully it was so fake that all the fighting and everything was so like planned and rehearsed and scripted that it didn't. And then the other thing is we lived in my parents' house in the Palisades, like in my high school room. Like, so we leave Hollywood and just go have our simple, you know, life. And, you know, we weren't up in the scene like it looks. So like we never lived in that apartment that we filmed in or that house we filmed in. So I imagine it would have been harder if we were immersed in that world and these were our real friends and our real relationship. But
you guys really took a turn to be like the most hated couple in the world, and Heidi got all the surgery. Did you ever try to convince Heidi not to get surgery?
No. One thing I never try to do with Heidi, and what people don't understand is like, Heidi's the boss. Like I work for Heidi to this day. Like that's this whole like, you know, like that's the people who really know the inner workings of our relationship. Like, excuse me, my French, like I'm the pussy whip. Like, you know, like it's not like, oh, Heidi, I think you should do this. Like Heidi came from a little town in Crested Butte with dreams of being a star. Like like, so no, I never told Heidi what to do. Cause I was just filming her. She'd like put the camera on me, cameraman. Like, you know, if you watch the footage, like I'm just her cameraman. I said to her yesterday, I'm like, I'm literally your cameraman. So also let's rewind to surgery cause it's in tears. First time she even got the idea of getting surgery was Us Weekly approached her and was like, hey, we have this top plastic surgeon. It wasn't even in her head, you know, that wants to do, you know, we'll give you a nose job and implants. And Heidi's like, and they're like, this would cost $50,000, whatever. And Heidi's a hustler. And she's like, $50,000 for free. And this Us Weekly's coming to me. I'm not going to say his name. Ken came to her. And so, you know, you know, and she had grown up getting made fun of about her nose her whole life. This was early day comment section. Every single comment, I'm always like, don't read that. It's just saying she has a Jay Leno chin. And so she's now in her head of all these things that's early, comment section. So then she has this meeting with this top, rest in peace, Dr. Frank Ryan, he's dead. But she has a meeting with him, and he's showing her all the A-list superstars, all the things he's done, but signed, top secret. They're not telling anyone. It's just she's realizing this is the game. So she does the nose job, boobs. It's not the end of the world. People don't, she didn't have to tell the truth also. This time, I'm not going to say other big pop people were literally without a doubt got nose jobs. Got it. That was standard operating procedure. But Heidi was just honest. I'm going to tell people this is what I did, which, I'm like, I don't care, whatever. Keep in mind, I've already dated Heidi for so long, in love, already felt like this isn't this is what you need to do now for us to be we're already battling the world. This isn't going to change our relationships. I'm like, win-win. I don't care either way, whatever. Do what you want to do to your body. I'm scared and I can't even get shot. So this is way past my world of knives and, so all good. The follow-up, the one that people all freaked out on, I'll never forget. I even have it on video. As she's going in, because when she was doing her Miss Universe, she got elbowed by one of the backup dancers, and they hit her nose, and so she it's dead in. They're gonna pop it out, whatever. So she goes to have that done. That morning, he's like, while you're under, we could just and I hear the word minor so many times. It's it's so early in the morning when you drop these people off for surgery. It's I'm not even thinking. I hear minor. She already just I hear she already got lip injections. That seemed minor. Minor. And you hear the word injectable and this. Everything's minor. And he just had this blue pen, and he's just I'm like, there's a lot of blue. Neither of us are thinking oh my God. He's like, this is minor is the word we heard a million times. Cut to the most traumatic. So no, it was not a positive time.
That's also just so crazy to hear you talk about it too, because of how manipulative and really scary. When you're young, you don't understand, and these doctors should do a better job of explaining the fact that they said minor to you, and you're it was in the morning. Also the fact that you're it was the day of, and they're we can just do this. We'll scoop out your back, we'll pin back your ears,
and he's saying the price of each thing. And back to Heidi, who's a banker, he's this is $25,000. I mean, it was $250,000 when he's and all across all this was out of a movie where you're shopping for clothes, and they add it all up, and he's boom, void, $0. So it's in her head, in this business,
it's a business.
Oh my God,
it's a bargain.
He's giving me $250,000 to make, and this is what all, I'm not gonna name stars, but this is what all they do, but they spread it out. Everything she did is standard A-list.
Totally.
I'm not naming the women, but
it's obvious.
This is standard A-list women, but once a year. You don't knock it all out. You don't drop it off at the body shop.
What do you miss about being one of the most famous couples in the world at the time?
Oh, just the money. I would, if you asked me to never be famous or just be rich, I thought being famous was the easy way to get rich. If I put the amount of energy as I put into being famous as just doing a normal rich person job, a banker, I would be rich. So how getting just paid by Coca-Cola to hold a Coca-Cola, here's $10,000, what?
Yeah.
So that level of and then people are why do you want to be famous? Because it's so hard, but it's so easy when you're when you're getting the checks. At one time we were making $1 million a year selling our paparazzi photos, going and looking cheesy, dressing up in dumb little Easter bunny, so that part is hands down.
Money. That makes sense.
So
people hated you more than people who murdered people. You were more hated than O.J. Simpson at one point.
And Casey Anthony.
Yep. How did that make you feel at the time?
Well, at the time it was a victory because David Foster had put me into the game he knew Simon Cowell. I didn't watch American Idol. And he was Spence, once the Fox started going, he's you need to be the young Simon Cowell. I was who? And he's the hated guy, the villain, I was gotcha. Sounds easy, coach. Put me in. So there was no social media. I was so naive to think, and I thought everybody knew Hollywood was just lights, camera, action, fake as could be. I didn't understand middle America. This was Bible, like this was, the Holy Spirit over here. And I'm over here just trying to get ratings bonuses. Like if we ever got to 5 million, I got $1 million check just that day. So no matter what I'm reading, I'm over here like chasing $1 million one, like, and we're like at 4.2, 4, but I'm like, oh, what could I do to get to that $1 million to do what I'm already doing that night? So my mindset at that point, at one time I had like hatespencerpratt.com where like you could go and like comment, like I thought it was so fun and like ridiculous until, I started driving around and like everyone was just flicking me off out windows. I was like, oh my God, like who's watching this show? Like chill. Like I thought this was like a fun like party show. Like why you guys, isn't the news on? Like aren't we in Iraq? Like isn't there a war? Like I just never understood because I came from like play pretend with the princes and everything. And I just thought, so no.
You understood what you were doing, and then when people didn't and they thought it was real, you were like, "Wait, guys."
Yeah, and
Simon Cowell.
Yeah, like no, and like Brody will say to anybody else, like Spencer planned every single, like he's a witness to like the like the blueprint, like. I executed it too well, and here's how they got me. And this is how the predatory producer, and me being naive, and Heidi just hit me with this. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so triggered by that quote. They were always saying, we're going to, this is your redemption arc. We're going to redeem. So I'm always chasing like, you do this and then we're going to, so I'm like, I like this. But it's like, I should have been like, watch Batman. I'm like, there's no way the Joker is getting redeemed like part 3, like I just like, oh yeah, that sounds great. You're going to redeem me. Yeah. What, season 4? Like, woo. So like, I fell for that just con, which, that's the problem when you're 23 and you do think you're smarter than everybody, which I obviously was not, that I just got, I thought I was in with everybody and I'm working with this producer that I already made this show with, but it's like, oh no, they were sailing me off the waterfall like Niagara. And, I didn't care because they're also blood money paying, we're the highest paid people on television at this time. So I'm going, I had $1 million suit collection. I didn't even wear suits. And then I gave them all to my friend who was a real estate agent. Shout out Mikey P. And, so like, cause I was like, what do you do with all this money? You buy suits. Like, that's what rich people do. No, buy gold. That's what I would say. That's the one thing I did that was smart at one time. I bought like all this gold. So I carried a backpack around with like $500,000 in gold coins, just like, cause you can't spend gold. Like it takes.
It would keep you in line. What about a business manager?
We had a problem with business managers. Let me tell you,
they take your money.
Not only do they take 5% of all the money you spend because they have to like do the math for it. So be careful with a business manager because they love you spending money. That's their favorite.
Gold was your friend. You're like, I can't spend this.
Yeah, I should have bought more of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Spencer, you created the concept. I am now convinced. I look back and I'm like, there was Simple Life. There was like Newlyweds with Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey, like early days. But you created the reality show villain.
Oh, I'll take that 1,000%.
Right?
Like give me my one credit. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to add that to my Wikipedia.
The originator of the reality star villain.
And it was fun until you realize like there's no getting out. So as I look back, they were Frankenbiting is which I learned later is where they're just taking audio and putting it there and putting you at an event you're not at, saying you did this. Like I was just watching this episode where Lauren comes in like that Heidi stood her up and there's a note from Heidi. Anyone that knows Heidi, her handwriting looks like Egyptian hieroglyphs. Like she doesn't know what she's writing. I don't know if she can even write. Like, and so this cute little note, like, sorry, Lauren LC, like, I can't hang out, like, went to the movies to censor, love you, like, perfect calligraphy. Like, Heidi never wrote that note. They never told her she was standing up LC. It's like these simple things to, like, murk you out. And Lauren's playing her along. She knows Heidi didn't write that note and coming in like, Heidi, knowing like you were just in your apartment. They just mic'd you up, like good for you, like freaking Blake Lively over there.
So, let me explain to you what I'm thinking. I've sat down with reality people now and sitting down with you, who was like the originator of the villain. I want to expose how easily the edit process is that reality TV uses to make something look like a conversation happened and it really was a complete different conversation that happened. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So who is someone that you really dislike? Like someone that pisses you off and can get you like riled up?
You can be Adam DeVillo.
Okay. I'm Adam DeVillo. Okay. And I'm going to, we're in a fight. We are in a fight right now. I'm Adam, you're Spencer. And I'm talking so much shit to you. This is what's going to happen. The point is I'm going to, it's like I'm a producer being like, you're pissed at Adam. What would you say to Adam? And it's like, fuck you. And then you walk out of the interview. What I'm going to do is at the beginning of this episode, it's going to be a cold open. And I'm going to dub in a different question of me being like, Spencer, you're irrelevant. How do you feel? And you're going to be looking at me when really everyone right now will see what that original thing was. I'm talking about Adam DeVillo, but we're going to cut it and make it look like you were shitting on me and you walk out of the Color Daddy interview.
Oh my God.
You ready?
It's so scary. Well, give me a few minutes.
Okay, it's to tell you how I'm envisioning it.
I see the vision, but I'm just like trying to think about what I would actually say that could come off believable.
Like, fuck you.
You're a fucking predatory person. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Oh my God. That's better than anything we had. That's way stronger than a fuck you. Do you have a notes app of what you want to say to Adam DeVillo?
Yeah, I do. Fucking piece of shit. You need to drink some of your flat champagne.
We're gonna need to get. We can do it twice. Like right. We just want to get the best. And again, what is happening right here is gonna go in the episode. Just so you know, you're not getting fucked over. Like we're gonna show this process.
You know, as long as this goes on Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't care what you show.
Power of edit, baby.
Oh.
I liked that first line you said.
Yes, but it's not dramatic enough.
Right.
Because, I mean, you are a predatory person.
I can't even take it seriously. Okay, here we go. I think it would be dramatic if you get up and walk out.
I'm gonna, definitely.
Okay,
I'm just...
Okay, you're practicing. You're practicing.
Oh, yeah? Fuck you. Fuck this interview. Stupid podcast. Fuck this shit's over in a year.
What the fuck? That was good.
Spencer! The low key.
Spencer! Dude, that was good. That was good.
It has to be more low key.
I agree. No, I think that was pretty good because you said fuck you, fuck this. I'm going to do one more and I'm going to keep all this in of like, guys, I'm like poking him. I'm Adam DeVillo. I'm like, you are.
So that's the thing. You wouldn't even, that's what's so crazy about reality TV. Adam DeVillo wouldn't be here. They send these, they call, like, for the Hills, she was called the Collector. That's how shady this shit is, to collect the fucking.
And she would just get shit out of you?
No, she would come and like, she fake jerked off and busted a nut on my face. And it worked, and I like went nuts.
Okay, so let's like channel that annoyance.
Let me call Heidi. Who do I dislike? Hey. Hi, honey. Who do I really dislike that I could channel just like lots of anger for a fake scene here? I feel like I don't talk to enough people to hate anybody anymore. Oh, thank you, honey. I knew you would know.
Love you, honey. Bye.
Love you. Love you. I'm so excited to be included. You're welcome. Here, I'll put you on the mic. There you go. You're good. Love you.
I'm good. Shout out.
Prattdaddy.com. Love you.
Love you guys.
Stream superficial.
Okay,
so yeah.
Your car.
Oh, lots of people did, but one I have to see.
Pretend I'm him. You're a fucking loser.
Yeah. This is the biggest fucking waste of time. I can't even believe Spotify gave you a fucking show. I bet this doesn't even last another fucking year. Why don't you just delete this whole fucking episode? Good luck with your little imaginary boyfriend you never show on fucking IG story. Fuck you, Alex fucking Cooper. Fucking fuck.
Spencer! that was good.
What I've learned is like, the more exaggerated, the faker it looks
fake.
now, because now everyone is so exaggerated on all these shows. So you got to like.
Well, in post edit, and that's the beauty. Again, I'll share with everyone watching is like, we'll look back and see which one looks more real. Maybe the first one looks more real because it was less try hard.
I may even, the Holy Spirit, I may give you a third just out of nowhere. So, third, you have to do these 12 times. That's like that video I sent you.
Yeah.
And I rewatched it, like this supposedly where I'm bullying Heidi into like moving in with me to like, I would never move into Curson Avenue. Like, I'm not bullying anyone to like live across from fucking Boa or Boca. I don't even, like a liquor store. Like, so no, I was not, but this big scene, this was when it was a wrap for me, was when she's like, I don't think I want to move in with you, like doing her Meryl Streep level. And I'm like, then my answer is get out of my car. We did that at least 12 times. They're like, floor the car more. And they're shooting the exhaust pipes. She gets in the car right after. We go to Don Antonio's. Like, that's just a night, but like, boom. And here's how I'm even crazier. The song that they like put to it, like Apologize. Yeah. I gave them the One Republic song. I was like, this would be so good. Because Heidi was like in talks to do a song with Ryan Tedder, and he like played me that. I'm like, I'll get this on the Hills. So then I even gave them the Murder song.
As we're kind of...
We're not wrapping up.
No, we're not.
Oh
we're
my
not.
God.
No, we're not. You're like, I'm not leaving. Thank you for playing along. That was a great promo. Is there a specific manufactured storyline you regret saying yes to?
Yeah, the sex tape. I didn't think people... like big deal. I thought it was like clout too. Like Kim just made so much off of hers. It wasn't a negative. There was no tape even ended up coming out. So like I thought that's why I played along. Called a fake producer. That wasn't on a phone with LC. It was me pretending to apologize for something I didn't do to a producer. Like I'll.
To your knowledge, did Adam DeVillo ever abuse his power when producing the show, and in what ways?
Here's what's so funny. Like, I was ready to go all in on Adam DeVillo, but I'm a mercenary. If they called me right now to be on Selling Sunset and I hate him more than anyone on earth, I'd be like, what's my fee? So you can't even ask somebody who's like a mercenary about people, because like I should have known his last name is Devil with an O. Like, that's not a coincidence. And here's the other thing that I now have the benefit of perspective with. Yeah. Like, we've now been on 2 seasons of Celebrity Big Brother where you're locked up, 50 plus days as a producer. Mm-hmm. We did I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, Marriage Boot Camp, Wife Swap, Famous Food. Like, the list of shows of dealing with producers, not to mention all these pilots you shoot, and like, there's nobody like that guy. So here's the problem with people like Adam and how they'll always win. Mm-hmm. They're male. And he brings in his enablers, and they're all like guarded. I'm not saying this is like, they will always win because there's then me, the mercenary, because I know this is a demonic demon. And I was like, put me on Netflix. So all these people around Christine, they're not going to back her because they don't want to rock the ship. They don't want to, they don't want Selling Sunset to end. So that's how Me Too and these people are enabled, because the people around them are like, ain't happening to me like you, because I'm one of his, like, I'm sure the way he treated Whitney and LC, and I'm sure, God knows how they probably love him, because when things did come out and Heidi's story, whatever, guess who's the first one to be like, he's the best guy ever? Maybe to you, but that's not the truth. Like, that's your like, you can't defend, so
totally. And I think it's fucked up because, like you're saying, these men in these position of power insulate themselves with all these other men that are going to make him like almost impenetrable to any type of getting in trouble. And however, what you're saying also is, because you're the mercenary, it's fucked up. Like, we saw Christine Quinn was one of the first people, which she's fortunate. She's got a lot of fucking money. She's got her own money, and she's got her husband that has a fuck ton of money. And so when you're in a position where you need this person that's in a position of power and fucked up, but you need to make a living, you need money, you're kind of at the hands of their power. And so I hear what you're saying. You're like, I would take the Netflix show because that's what your career is, but you're not saying he's a good guy. I want to, because I've never talked about this to my listeners. So when Heidi was on Call Her Daddy last year, she brought up an incident where the producer from The Hills was physical with her. After filming that episode, the MTV rep that repped Heidi called my team and said, you need to take that out of the episode or you can't air it. I don't even know if Heidi knows this.
She definitely doesn't know that.
Okay.
Shout out Joya and Jay and who else? I love you
Right,
guys.
I don't even know. So we get this
that's
call.
what's so shady because it's like they protect the net. Like I love MTV,
Right.
but it's like that's Adam. She didn't say MTV. You can't like that's the.
So my team gets this call, and Daddy Gang listening, like you can go back and that interview. They said you have to take that part out or you can't air the episode. I thought it was coming from Heidi, and I'm like, who am I to put someone's like abuse story out there if they don't want it out? So I took it out of the episode. Fast forward, few weeks ago, Christine Quinn sits down with me and she talks about how Adam DeVillo is the new producer, who is the original producer of The Hills. And she mentions Heidi's name in the interview, saying we both had really bad experiences with these producers. Immediately, I message Heidi. I go right to Heidi because I'm like, I don't want to put your name in the episode if you're not comfortable with it. I know Christine doesn't want to speak for you. I want to make sure you're good with it. And Heidi was like, absolutely put it in there. It's the truth. To which I then realized, oh my God, last year I fully got played. I was like, last year, that was not Heidi not wanting to put that in. But now that you're done with The Hills, can you explain what the fuck happened with that whole situation?
Again, I wasn't there. I was never allowed to be. That's why these predator type people like that, people that want the smoke, they won't have like. I never interacted with Adam ever once he knew my level, like you don't play, like I don't play. So I never got to interact with Adam because it would have been on.
Damn.
So I was banned from the photo shoot that this happened. So what I did was send, shout out Kevin Carlson, her bodyguard, to go in my place. Cause I'm like, I'm not allowed to go to her photo shoot. So
yeah, that's weird.
Again, you would need Heidi here, but from what I recall is she had one of those loose fitting, I guess there was also a comment about her new boobs, because she just nobody had seen it, whatever. And she had one of those backs that like are open back where it's like pretty much like in the right angle, it's like butt cheek, like of a dress. And I guess he like put his hand like ass cheek grab and the security to the point where he like chopped his hand off and was like checked him, shout out Kevin, gangster. But he was there, this happened, so we had a witness, he was.
It makes me really sad for Heidi that it took years, like everyone is believing Christine Quinn right now.
Oh, but literally when this came out, I didn't watch Selling Sunset because I hate this person so much. I don't care how good the show is, Adam, right? But when I saw this, I was like, this is an angel from heaven just came out, and then she's in this outfit. I'm like, she is this is the Matrix. This is literally Trinity coming to and it took, 12 years? Like, you can go back on Google, and she was like, this is not appropriate. Like, you can't, like, she felt to the point where she called me, and I was like, what the, so I called, and I left some psycho message, I hope he still has it.
I hope he
but here's how weird life is. And so when I went back to college to finally graduate in 2013, I'm in a Staples on Olympic, and I go, because I drink lots of water and fluids, I go pee in the Staples, and I'm not I like to go in the stalls to pee. I feel more protected, So I open the stall door. Guess whose face I look at?
Adam
DeVillo. I haven't seen this person since 2000. Maybe the first night of Hills filming. I've never even seen him since then open, and he looks like I'm there to murder him, because this is like some random Staples in the men's room, in the stall. He's coming out and he's like, and it took me, I didn't like process like why is this fool freaking
so out
out?
Of context.
Yeah, what's happening? I just want to pee. Like, you're blocking the urinal here, like toilet, get out of the way. And he's like, Spencer, what are you doing here? I'm like, Adam, like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going why are you in Staples? I'm like, buying books for college. Why are you here? And he's like, because I work down the street and this is the better bathroom. I'm like, huh? So, to this day, I think he doesn't believe I was buying Staples, and it was like, I can touch you if I want. I can get you anywhere type. Like just know anytime you're going to the bathroom, I could open the stall door and be there. Like, that's how I think God wanted me to have that last, like,
Right.
don't
I'm
ever
coming
feel too cozy on that toilet because that door could open and it could be me. So,
Spencer Pratt.
you know, like, it was a weird moment. But it's like, I didn't have, it had been 3 years. I was back in college. I'm now back in the game trying to be famous again. So like I'm mad again, but then I didn't like really care, but he couldn't accept it. Like, and I was so chill and I was like, oh, what are you up to? Like, and he was like, what are you? And then Heidi comes like, why are you here? And she's like, I'm like, it was just such a good.
He did not believe it could have been a coincidence.
Yeah, no way.
He's like, you are here to kill me.
Yeah,
or stalking me.
1,000,000,000%. Here's the weirdest part. So years before this, just to show you how demonic this project with the Hills was.
Yeah.
We go out for a pitch with one of these evil producers because, again, we're mercenaries. And he's like, hey, I want to pitch you to Lifetime. We're like, okay, like his right-hand guy. So we go this pitch and we're sitting there and he's like, it's amazing. We can all, telling this Lifetime executive that we can all sit here. I mean, at one time we were trying to steal Heidi's soul. And like Heidi just starts hysterically crying in real life because she's like so triggered by like knowing that like she felt that. And it's like, the pitch went so sideways, like stealing her soul. Like, what?
Wait, Adam DeVillo said that?
his right hand.
Oh, his right-hand man.
His
literally
teammate.
said at one point we were trying to steal Heidi's soul. Now look where we
Yeah,
are.
like, and we can all be together and like pitch. This
and
is so
Heidi's
funny.
like, that's why I felt that
Yeah,
way
like,
for so many
oh.
years, you fucking psychos. Okay. What is the wildest thing you've done to make a headline? Tell us.
Oh, I mean, any headline you ever saw, I was behind. And so it's like, I actually, thanks to my mom, she's like, I have the biggest thing you've ever seen in your life of every cover, tabloid, everything I've ever been in. And the other day I pulled it out just to like, because I was going to do TikToks on them. I was like, everyone was the most crazy stories. I'm like, made that up. One time we made our entire house look like we were squatters. Not squatters, like what are those people that like fill up a house with stuff?
Oh, hoarders.
Hoarders. We filled it up with hoarders and like, you know, like just made it like piled up and like got a In Touch magazine cover, like Heidi and Spencer are in squalor. In Touch cover. I think we got 25K. Shout out Dan Wakeford.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like, so I mean, like that's like a petty one, but like everything you could ever think of. We once did a deal for like $500,000 just for 4 covers of Us Weekly. We didn't know what the covers were. It's like, let's make stuff up, you know? So I'd have to
so
go
good.
through, but like the
That's
weirdest
good.
thing that I didn't have to do with that I saw a headline recently that Heidi called me, the article said that Heidi called me like chicken legs or something, and Spencer was going to get calf implants. So I was like, calf implants? Like, even if I do have, like, I don't have a big calf, but like, I hate needles, but like that's the level. Calf, and I was like, so I have so many of them.
That is
behind them all.
You know, that's really cool that you have those like mementos.
Oh, I want to frame them all. And Heidi's like, they're not going on the wall. I'm like, this is art, honey. This is art.
We'll put them next to our portraits in our
like,
homes of
yeah.
ourselves.
We do have every cover framed.
I
but
think you guys should
want,
do that.
Like, I want spreads framed. Like 6 pages is every one. That's a lot of BS that we had to make up.
I love that.
So I should be in
calf
creative
implant.
writing because
Yeah.
these like you be on and you just be, you know, I
Yeah, I don't
should
think
be
people
on
give
this.
you enough credit.
I always complain about that. That's one of my. I'm chasing credit. You know?
I'm gonna give it to you right now. Like, you went to USC. The whole backstory, I'm happy you told us of the Princess of Malibu. Like, knowing you went to Brazil, you were shooting.
I will let you watch that.
I want to watch.
You can watch. I will let you.
And then I'll tell you what I think.
No, I know you're gonna be like, you could win an Oscar. It's insane. Like, it's the work of art. Like,
Okay, Spencer, what are you insecure about?
not getting credit. You know, for my level of like energy I put into success, you know, I don't get treated with any credibility. You know, so that's an insecurity in the sense that like I've worked since 2004 nonstop on reality TV fame, and you know, and people are just like, oh, I hate a guy from the hills. It's like, that took work, fool. Like,
Like,
so,
I was working.
Yeah, like, that's a job. So, you know, that's definitely an insecurity. And, you know, thankfully being a dad created my new focus on just being like the best dad. So it's like, it's less selfish. So no matter what, like I've now transitioned, like I'm kind of like a rap, you know, like whatever happens with my career and like titles, like now I've already moved on to like, let me build the best superstar child and great human. So like that has been a great energy shift. What I wish, it's a hard balance because I learned so many lessons, but like, should I have had a kid sooner, or did I need to go through everything to be ready to be a parent? So, but insecurities.
I know. I think that's a great answer. Do you think being a dad has changed you a lot?
It made me now thirsty again because I'm like, you know, like let's get success. And I've like, people are like, why are you still trying to be famous? Like that is where I'm at. Like I'm not going to go be a banker now. I can't go be Camilla and be a lawyer. Like even though Kim's being a lawyer, like I don't have that time for the baby bar. So like I am going to be a television star again. Gonna get a show. I'm gonna produce. Like that's why I'm now back in the game. Like
I think producing for you.
Oh no, it's going down. Like it's the slate is strong. So that's the only reason why. Like why do you want this again? It's like because now it's time. Like I was living in Santa Barbara at my parents' beach house. I was done. But now it's because I could live like that with just Heidi and eat tacos and be chill. But I want to give my son and future family members, you know, because he doesn't want to stop at one. So it's like I want to build, you know, solid, you know, because I grew up with an amazing life.
Yeah.
It's too late to be a dentist.
Spencer Pratt.
I just want to look to the camera and thank the Daddy Gang. Oh my God, for all the Daddy Gang, promo code DADDY, and you get 20% off Pratt Daddy Crystals. You know, I usually go to 15, but since it's Daddy Gang and I'm Pratt Daddy, that is funny. I was Pratt Daddy before you were, you know, you kind of hijacked the Daddy Gang, but I was like, and I used to literally claim as Snapchat of the year as Pratt Daddy. I'd be like, gang, we out here, gang. I was like,
I never saw
that.
I
know you didn't. I know you're too young.
You can't hijack something you didn't know existed.
No,
do you know
energetically.
What I mean? I'm just kidding. Honestly, thank you so much for coming.
I'm not ending. You're gonna have to turn the camera.
All right, I'm leaving, and Spencer's gonna keep talking.
This is the real way the show ends.
Thank you so much. Gotta go. Goodbye.
Clout, Spotify live after room. I'm gonna like be live after her show and doing my own live room.
Goodbye, Spencer.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much for coming on Call Her Daddy. I really do appreciate it.
All right, let's cut. I'm not gonna stand up.
Dude, you're great. That was great.
What is up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy.
Charlize Theron, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to be meeting you.
The same here.
Cheers to It's Happy Hour.
Somewhere in the world.
It's happy hour. We're cheersing. We've got a little vodka, and we're going to have a great conversation today. You're in your cozies.
Yeah, I apologize if I was supposed to get dressed up.
No. I'm usually in my cozies, and I have a meeting after this. I would usually be wearing exactly what you're wearing. So this is perfect.
You look great.
You look like me today, and I maybe look like you in another life. Okay, in doing research for this interview, I realized we have a couple things in common, and maybe we'll find out more today. But one of them being, we're notoriously known for saying the word fuck.
Yes.
That's
why I love your show. Why I love your show for many ways. I just love you're very authentic, and I love your use of the word because, you know, if somebody uses it that much, it has to feel like it's coming from a real place, and yours feels very grounded.
I haven't heard you say it yet, but I know it's going to come out today. But I'm like, I've heard that you say it all the time.
Yeah.
I remember reading it said Hollywood Reporter profile said that you said fuck 154 times in 3 hours in an interview.
They'd have to fact check that. I don't think that's true. There's no way.
I was like, she's an icon.
Humanly possible.
Have you ever said it in a really like inappropriate setting where people were like, Charlize, what the fuck are you doing?
Listen, I have definitely, I'm trying to think of how to say this without getting the right context around it. I swear in front of my kids because I feel like, you know, I am a responsible mom, but I I am who I am. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I also want to teach my kids that there are things for them to look forward to. They don't necessarily get to say that right now, but that's really fun because they're going to grow up and get to say what they want. And also just because sometimes it's hard to articulate exactly what fuck cannot replace. Like, I just feel, and maybe that's because my vocabulary is just not very strong and English is a second language, but it's hard to sometimes really get that thing across, and you can special size it. You can custom it for your, whatever that fuck is that you need,
It's fucking amazing.
I do this really fun thing with my kids in the morning when we drive to school. They DJ, so I can't DJ at all. So they all take my phone and they'll just like alternate with each other and like play songs. And then they got a little older. They were like, it used to be like the clean versions. And then it was like, Mom, can we like play the dirty versions? And I was like, okay, just for this car ride. So in the mornings, this is now where I think they get a half hour of just they play it every inappropriate song so incredibly loud that I like lose my hearing, and we're driving for a half hour and they're screaming every single inappropriate words that they possibly can. And then I load and I can tell like all that energy's out. They're going to have a great day at school. And then I put a podcast on and I probably listen to you. It's like by 10 a.m. I've had a full life. It's a full day.
You're listening to like WAP at like 7 a.m. You're like
100%.
100%. That's amazing. That's
it's fun. Great. It's great.
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by White Claw. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're way too hot to be spending the summer sitting inside scrolling on your phone. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop letting plans die out in the group chat. Grab a White Claw and go make some memories, okay? Whether you're yapping poolside, hitting a barbecue, or just kicking back around a fire, a cold White Claw goes perfectly with your summer plans. That's right, Daddy Gang. It is White Claw summer. 100 calories in 12 glorious ounces, gluten-free, and the taste you know and love. I like to pick up a variety pack so that I can guarantee everyone can get their favorite flavors. I am personally through and through always a black cherry girl, but Matt loves the mango and Lauren's favorite is lime. So there's truly something for everyone. It's time to come out of hibernation and stop leaving everyone on red. We're finding a guy with a boat and we're having a damn drink. My friends and I strictly drank White Claw for an entire girls' trip last year, and now I can't even smell sunscreen without being reminded of that trip. It was honestly the best time ever. There is nothing better than warm sun, a tiny bikini, tiny bikini, and an ice cold claw in your hand. That is peak life. Pick up a pack from your favorite local spa and grab life by the claw with your favorite flavor this summer. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer works. Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, let's go back to beginning days of your life. You grew up on a farm in South Africa.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was normal. It's what I knew. It's all of my friends kind of grew up on these small farms. They weren't like these like out of Africa kind of farms. They were called small holdings. We ate off the land and lived off the land. My mom grew. She's growing stuff on our farm out in Ojai now. She's like just a natural farmer. Knows everything about fruits and vegetables. So we lived a farm life, but not as isolated as people would imagine a farm life to be.
And growing up, you went to a boarding school, right?
High school, yeah.
If I was to ask your classmates, like, what were you like in high school? What do you think they would say?
Oh, that'd be interesting. I think there was a side of me, there was a lot of alcoholism in my family on both sides, and a lot of shame that I think kids in general have about a parent that might be an alcoholic. Because my dad was like very, he'd show up in states that, was just very inconsistent. And so I think my friends or people who knew me in school would say that there was a part of me that was very, closed off and not necessarily sharing the truth about who I was in my life. Like kind of, I think I think I created somewhat of an alter ego that came from like a happy house, and like my family were good, happy people. And I think the other side would probably be that I never really like fit in anywhere. It wasn't that I was unpopular. It was just that I almost like weirdly wanted, there were two girls that I very vividly remember in both my lower school and my high school. One was called Charlene in lower school, and the other one was called Marlise in my high school. They were both girls that I absolutely just admired. Like, I just thought the world of them. And if you ask me today why, I actually couldn't answer that.
Do you think it was like their aura or their
Yes,
confidence?
I think it was their confidence, and that they were authentically, truthfully being who not only they are, but also living the truth of their circumstance at home. I think that was the thing that I really admired about them. Not that they had, I don't think they dealt with the same issues that I did. I don't think that a parent that was dealing with alcoholism, but I still have this with women who, like, when they date, they're just like very open and honest. Like, they don't try and hide anything. They'll say whatever they want. They're not walking on eggshells. And I think that's the part that kids in my school probably remember the most. But I think now looking back at it, I understand why I was that way better.
But don't you think when you look back to like why you admired those girls so much, what you're saying also is like being that young and like masking in situations is exhausting. Yeah. Like, you wish you could just be out in the open, but family is family, where you still, it is a reflection on you, even 100%. Though you're doing nothing wrong, that your family is dealing with 100%. This, but you still feel this almost like pride that you have to try to uphold something, because it's like currency in high school. Like, what is this person like, and what is their family from? And so you try to create this narrative, but that's exhausting. And then you walk in the door at home and you're like, well, this is fucking miserable. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it's very exhausting. And it's crazy how we carry all of that weight. Like, somehow it's us. Like, somehow their actions are reflective of us. And it's a crazy thing that I continued in other relationships in my life. And I think I admire women who are just like, that's that. Like, that's not me. But that was exhausting for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it affected my life in a way that I think it took me a long time to be able to figure out. So when you ask me, like, how do my friends or people who went to school with think of me? I think they think of me in a way that was not really authentic me. It was a put forth version of me.
In dealing with that in high school, then I know, like, we don't need to get into all the details today, but you experienced such trauma at such a young age. How do you think experiencing that ended up impacting you in your later life, not just in the like, oh, she's not as authentic, but then once the trauma really hit, like, how did that impact you in the next couple decades of your life?
I think it was just, the first part of it was full denial, because my mom didn't really have the tools to deal with that tragedy. But it was also just years and years of this consistent kind of like walking into a house or waking up in the morning and not knowing what I was walking into. It's like what a lot of people say about living with an alcoholic, right? You're kind of living at their whim, like whatever they're feeling that day or wherever they are, that's what is going to be the vibe and the energy of the house. And that inconsistency, I think, was what affected me way more than just that one night. And I think what happened was that there was such a focus placed on that one night when that tragedy happened. And it was very, very unfortunate. And I wish I could say it was only a one-time occasion. This is something that happens in homes across the world more often than we want to admit. But, you know, I think it took me like well into my late 30s to really be able to look at that and actually like shake off the weight that I felt like I carried for my father, for my mother. You know, I felt like even when I got famous, like I couldn't quite honestly speak about it because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I felt like people were involved that didn't ask to be in the spotlight. But then I also got older and I was like, but this is also my truth. Like, this is where I come from. And I don't want to have shame about it anymore. You know, my dad was an alcoholic. He wasn't healthy. And my mom stepped up and protected me. And if that happened to me with my children today, I can tell you right now, I would do the same thing. It doesn't make it less unfortunate, but you know, again, I can't protect people all the way through. Like, I have to also live my authentic self. So now it was a one night event in my life. I am still dealing with the everyday consistency of a lot of damage that I think I experienced as a young person, just in my every single day life.
I think that is so relatable in the sense that, like, if there is something catastrophic that happens that shakes a family or a relationship, that event feels very, like, palpable, and people think of that event, but when you're living it, you're like, oh, it's kind of actually like not even where my head goes to when I actually think of all the trauma, because that was an instant. The rest of my life, my entire childhood, was this thing of living with this alcoholic and learning how to placate or hide or defend and shield, and then go to school and pretend like this isn't ruining my entire life, and smiling and pretending I'm this like cute girl that is fine. Everything's fine. I know that you've talked about it, but you said later on in your life, you then got into therapy because you realized, like, oh, this is really still affecting me. Was there something that made you realize, like, holy fucking shit, I've got to get control of this?
So strangely, I went into therapy because of a relationship, a long-term relationship that I was in, and it was falling apart. And I think I touched lightly on, I was in relationships, in a sense, doing the same thing that I did at home, which is common, right? Walking on eggshells, trying to protect ego, protect embarrassment for a partner, you know, because of their behavior, and feeling like somehow that reflects bad on me. Like, all of these things I was kind of repeating in my relationships. And I had a narcissistic boyfriend that said, you know, you're the problem. And not that I believed it, but I felt like I had invested a lot of time into this relationship. And I was like, well, maybe, you know, let me put my ego aside. Maybe I should go. And there was always this kind of thing thrown in my face, like, because everybody knew about my life, like, oh, you must be this damaged woman, right? So I went actually to try and save this relationship. And what ended up happening was that I ended up saving myself. Yeah. So maybe in a weird way, I do owe this guy
like,
some gratitude.
Even though you were the narcissist?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, two things came out of it. The therapist was like, you should leave him. Yeah. And also, by the way, you're not the problem. Like, other people have been the problem in your life, and you need to start admitting that.
I have gotten into therapy and it's changed my life too. And so I'm always such an advocate for it, but I know that everyone has to go at their own pace. So it's interesting to hear you be like, I actually went in for something that for sure was at the forefront of your life, and it was like an annoyance and painful, and you were like, I need to fix this. But really, it's like, oh my God, girl, we have so many bigger problems than this like douchebag that kicked to the curb, and now let's focus on you. Yeah. Interesting. So once you got into therapy though, and you realized you needed to start working through a lot of this, did you struggle a lot with coming to terms with bringing back up trauma? Because I think a lot of people are like terrified to engage with it, because for a long time, if you just leave it in the corner, you think like, I don't need to bring all that back up. I don't want to relive those days and memories. Was it hard for you?
Yeah, because I became an expert. I practiced avoidance, right, my entire life. And also I was the product of an environment where therapy didn't exist. In South Africa, I didn't know one person who was in therapy. I don't even think we had therapists. Now, I might be totally wrong, and some South African person be like, first of all, okay, in my community, I never heard the word therapist. We also didn't have AA. Nobody was an alcoholic. You never used the word alcoholic. Like, this was just, I think I grew up in a culture where men were men and a real man drinks. And it was a very toxic culture. But therapy was just never something. And, you know, again, like I said, my mom didn't have the right tools. My mom, and my mom does not understand the concept around therapy. And I don't, listen, she shouldn't. She didn't have it in her life. She doesn't know what that is. And so when it happened, her kind of words of wisdom, like she sent me to school the next day. Like that tells you everything. My mom's like a survivor. My mom is like, you wake up the next day and you get up and you continue and nobody brings you down and and that's what she did to me. And I was 15 years old. So coming to therapy was not because I was avoiding it. It was just so foreign to me. And even I'm of a generation where I didn't even know a lot of friends that were in therapy. I think I knew like one friend that was in there. And it was this friend that I reached out to and said, could I meet with your therapist? Like I didn't even know how to get a therapist. So it was all very foreign to me. So yeah, putting aside the behavior that I had learned for years, it was also just like, it wasn't in my, you know, it wasn't, I wasn't surrounded by it in a way where it felt very natural or normal or I had easy access to it.
As you've evolved and continued to peel layers back of like how your childhood impacted you as an adult, I think I've even dealt with this with friends where it's like, as you become more therapized, you look at your relationship obviously with your parents differently. And it sounds like you have such a beautiful relationship with your mother, but like, how have you navigated being someone in therapy and dealing with that trauma, whereas you have then someone in your family that's not? Because I feel like there's probably a lot of people listening that are like, wait, so how do you handle those moments where like, no, mom, remember? And she's like, shh, let's go out to the let's go out to the garden, honey. Like, I don't want to talk about that.
In my 30s, it became contentious. It became because I think I was finding my voice. And I also I feel very protective of my mom, because I think that, you know, without context and people really knowing who she is, and that you can ask anybody who knows her, she is, trust me, I cannot tell you, I can't go on a hike, I can't walk through a store without somebody coming up to me like, oh my God, I love your mom. She's one of those people that she has a superpower. And her superpower is incredibly infectious, but it's also very, very damaged. You know, but what therapy taught me was that she is who she is. And I'm not here to change her. And if she doesn't want to change herself, that's okay. And for our relationship, there's enough compromise there that it works, that it doesn't feel like I am compromising too much or she's compromising too much. And we know how to kind of like be copacetic with each other and live in a very loving way with each other without me going like, I cannot, like, you are so unhealthy. You have, like, I'm beyond that now, right? And she thinks the same thing about me. Like, she's like, okay, whatever, like you with your therapy. And that's what I love about her. She's authentic. Beautiful. She's very, very authentic. But yeah, it's interesting, not to, like, I don't want to put you on the spot, but that's what I loved about hearing about your story.
Yeah.
It's just so rare to talk to somebody in this kind of environment. I've never had that where your story really moved me. And I was actually excited to sit down with you.
Thank you.
Because sometimes I feel like, you know, you feel so kind of alone in sharing a story like that. Mm-hmm. Yours is obviously different, but to have trauma at that young age and what you experienced was really painful to listen to and to hear your family talk about.
It is. It's like such a strange thing when you get to connect with human beings, because you're right. Our stories are so different and yet
so similar.
So similar. Yeah. And there's so much pain and there's so much hiding who you really are. And I agree. Like when you were talking about the women or the girls in high school that you were like, I just was attracted to their aura. I had the same thing with so many women where I was like, I wish I could live free like that. I wish I could walk into a room and just be me and feel like I can just own it. And I'm, even
Not
if
be
someone calls
scared.
me out, I don't care. I can't get embarrassed. You can't
Yeah.
embarrass me.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of my career has been actually searching to find a way to get to that place, because I wanted
Do you think
it.
you're there?
I feel so much more at peace. Like, even putting out the documentary, I feel another layer of peace, because I think that medium also is different. Like podcasting, I do this every Wednesday. Like, it's a thing that my audience is used to, but putting something and a piece of work out in a different format, I think, was really a good way to engage.
Therapeutic in a way?
Yeah.
Cathartic?
Like, yes, because like I kind of had hands off.
Yeah.
And a director was like, I'm going to tell your story. And I was like, please don't ruin my life.
Yeah,
but
no.
like, I trust you.
But you almost had to not be in control of it, right?
Which
Like here you're a little in control of it, and
But it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
And so I think that's how I also feel about therapy, where it's like, I'm learning. I'm uncomfortable what I'm learning about myself. I hate sometimes when I'm like, no, there's no way. And my therapist was like, keep going.
Yeah.
We're about to get under it. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Really? So I relate a lot to that. I also was thinking about your mom when you were just saying how your relationship dynamic, you are a single mother, and your mom, essentially after the passing of your father, became this single mother role.
it was a single mother prior
To that.
Yeah.
Your whole life she was a single
Yeah.
mother. How have you kind of found a way to appreciate each other even more and connect on a deeper level, becoming a mother and her watching you be a single mother also?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I feel, it feels familiar, right? But it also feels, God, if there was a cautionary tale, it was definitely their relationship and how I didn't want that. And I think in many ways, maybe that did. I think it's not just one thing, right? It's very layered and complicated, but one of those layers of why I don't think I am in a relationship was just purely because I still not it's a combination of like, I don't want what they had, and then also being very honest with myself and understanding that I did not have the capability of being healthy in a relationship. And those two things I had to acknowledge when I decided to be a parent. And I think it's probably one of the healthiest decisions I ever made. I think people look at it so like in our society as this kind of something must be wrong with her, right? With women, it's always like something must be wrong with her. She can't keep a man. And it's never part of the discussion of like, wow, she's really living her truth. Like she's living in her happiness. Like this is actually a choice that she made. I like want to just like look at them and just be like, do you know how fucking great it is to live exactly how I want to live, to experience motherhood exactly how I wanted to experience it? And I know the next thing they say is like, well, that's not fair on your kids. Can I tell you something? That will be their story to tell. I can't tell you. I can only tell you that this is the best way that I know how to be a mother to them. And maybe they'll grow up and tell their story, and I will respect that. I just know that this was the only way that I knew I could do it. And my fucking God, do I love every single day of it. I love that I don't have to share them with somebody. I love that I don't have to run every fucking thing by a guy. I love that I don't have to, well, oh my God, co-parent. I fucking love that I don't have to do any of that stuff. And my children, we joke. Listen, I think you can tell, like, this is how I raise my kids. Yeah. Like, right? We don't hide this shit. They're like, oh my God, Mom, I can't go to Sarah's house because like her father. And I was like, oh my God, aren't you guys so happy we don't have to deal with that? And like, oh my God, Mom.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So this was how I wanted to be. I don't even know if I'm answering your question. I'm so sorry.
No. This helps because it's like you broke this cycle, essentially.
I broke the cycle. I am raising, it looks from afar like I'm doing what I know, which is being a single mom, because I was raised by pretty much a single mom. But I think I'm raising my kids as a single mom because of definitely avoidance of things that I know I don't want. And also understanding who I am fully and being honest with who I am and what I can give right now. And who I am is, at the time that I wanted to be a parent, was not somebody who should be having kids with another person.
I think that is the most mature, self-aware thing that anyone could ever fucking do.
With kids,
Truly.
you have to be that honest because it's a child's life. You have to.
And you, again, sitting here being like, I've lived what a single mom looks like who's not actually single, but
we're happy about it.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's like the autonomy you've given yourself to find your happiness and give your kids a different life and a different meaning to what a single mom is.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for
it
recognizing that. I also love that I don't know what the future is going to hold, right? That's the other thing. It's like, this is like this moment and this time in my life now. And I mean, I'll be honest, I have tried dating and I can tell that no man's moving into our house while my daughters are there. Like, that's not, and by the way, I don't think I can do it. Like, I literally can't imagine a man moving into our house and me sharing my closet, or like, I don't see that happening.
Right.
But then I imagine like being an empty nester and how that part of my life will be. And by then feeling like maybe I will feel like I want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
There's this notion that somebody like me must be missing out on something, and that people feel sorry for you somehow, that you're missing out on love.
And you're like, guys, I'm telling you I'm good. And they're like, no.
It's the thing that you don't quite realize until you have kids. And I'm not saying that it replaces one love with the other, but it is such a tremendous love that I do not miss love. You know, I might miss sex.
Fair. That's fair. You're like, my vibrator is only doing so much.
Yeah, no, look, the vibrator is good. And I'm having the kind of sex I never had in my 20s or in my 30s.
Love.
Yes. And so that part has been really exciting. But I'm not missing a relationship. I'm not missing the partnership that I think people think you miss when you're me.
And it feels like what you're also saying is it's not that you're not open to it. You're just at a point in your life where you're really content and you're really happy.
That's it.
And I want to also point out, because I can only imagine now, even you just lightly explaining to me the judgment that comes with a woman in your position. And we know women in Hollywood who are single, and people are like, oh, what is actually fucking wrong with her?
Yeah, she must be a real bitch.
What
a cunt.
Truly. Like, you fucking cunt. How crazy are you?
Yeah, how crazy are you?
Truly.
Yeah.
But how gorgeous to also hear you saying, like, everything you're saying makes me more wanting to put it back on other people who are so triggered of like, how many relationships do we know of these women in these households with these men who have lost their voice, who are not happy? It's not everyone, but being alone, you have that control that a lot of people don't have in these certain relationships that they've lost themselves to. So I think it's commendable that you're like, I know myself enough. I'm going to stay right here until I want to change it. And then maybe I'll change it. But guess what? It's your decision.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I watch you with your husband and I'm like, God, that's so incredible. And why can't we just, as women, experience these two very different experiences and let that be okay?
Be completely okay.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought I was going to be someone that was going to get married.
You work with your husband.
And it works. And I'm like, well,
exactly.
Fuck. And I get why people have opinions, but I'm like, but I'm happy.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, yeah, exactly. Everybody will always
Everyone.
It's like an asshole.
Like,
we all have one. It's like, please. Yeah,
get out of here.
Yeah. At my age, I'm like, I honestly, there's like I can't make enough zero fucks. Like, I'm like,
I love that from you though. Immediately when you sat down, I was like, I fucking love you. Like, this energy is what we need. The girls need this energy.
Good.
Okay, let's go back. 19 years old, your mom buys you a plane ticket to LA and is like, one way, you're gonna become an actress, go. And you land. What the fuck was the plan?
Well, I think now you understand a little bit better that she was like, the next morning, she was like, you're going to school. Right. So I was in New York. I was living in somebody's basement. I was there. I did not have, I think I overstayed on a tourist visa. So I was kind of in this no man's land of, I wasn't there legally. I couldn't really dance anymore. I wasn't happy with my life. I felt like my only other option was to go back to South Africa, a country that was in tremendous turmoil at the time, at the brink of civil war breaking out. And I had nothing really to go back to. I like, you know, when I had to like think about how was I going to survive, I was like, am I really going to like take over my mom's construction company? Like I was willing to take, and also when you're young, you're fucking insane. You're so stupid, so naive. I was like, this sounds like the best idea ever. Yes, let's get a one-way ticket to this place called Hollywood, and I will get on this plane, mother, with this credit card that there's no money in there. I know, but you're trying to make me feel better about. And I know nobody, and I will get in a cab and I will go and find some motel to live in. Those were better options than getting on a plane and going back to South Africa for me at that time.
So you get there, and like, how are you initially making ends meet before you get all
modeling? Yeah. So modeling was kind of my waitressing job.
Okay.
'Cause turns out nobody's really checking your visa. They every once in a while will get you an O1, but they don't really care. Or back then.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just gonna take this out. Oh,
You got it.
I tore my interquartal muscles or whatever, coastal intercostal muscles.
By doing something.
Yeah, I did something stupid, but anyway.
Get cozy.
So I got here. I didn't know anybody, but modeling was always kind of an income for me.
When you started making money, what did you spend your first like big paycheck on? Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Tinder. Daddy Gang. You know that feeling of finding an amazing hole-in-the-wall restaurant when you're traveling to a foreign city? There is truly nothing better than having the best meal of your life surrounded by locals where nobody knows you're a tourist. Well, with Tinder's help, you can have more moments like that and get a true taste of the local life. Tinder's passport mode can be the best travel companion when you're looking for a local tour guide in any city in the world. Try Tinder Passport globally to connect locally during your travels or even before you start packing, all while making traveling to a new place feel easier. With Tinder's help, add more plans to your itinerary by matching with a local and setting a date to see the city through their eyes. Passport mode is also a great way to help immerse yourself deeper into the culture and have more authentic experiences while traveling. With Passport mode, there's so much to discover. Explore all of the possibilities for yourself. Tinder, it starts with a swipe. Download Tinder today. When you started making money, what did you spend your first like big paycheck on?
Well, I didn't make any money for a while. I was really like not even like paycheck to paycheck. I was like I was waiting for 2 paychecks to fill in. The first job as a model that I ever got that I remember going to the bank and cashing this check for $75,000, and I can tell you exactly what I wore that day. I can tell you exactly how I felt. I can tell you how I walked to my Ford Escort. Like it's so vivid in my mind because it was a moment of complete freedom. Like it's so hard to explain, but I think women or having financial freedom is something that is so important. And when you don't have it and then one day you feel like you have it, it's a feeling that you never forget.
You never forget and you never want to go back.
No.
You're like, oh.
But I also like stupidly, I was like, well, I'm done. I'm set for life. Like I was like,
I'm balling.
Yeah. Like, oh, well, I don't have to worry about that again, you know? But I didn't spend it on anything.
Nothing.
Just to, yeah, I was so scared of having to like go back to South Africa.
You start getting into Hollywood as a young woman. Like, what were your first impressions of Hollywood?
It was confusing, you know, because I didn't know what it was. So I was kind of like, you have to understand where I was raised, we had television from 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock. Like we had 3 hours of television and then we had nothing. And my access to Hollywood was so limited. We had a magazine that would write about celebrities. that was really the only information that I ever got about celebrities. I watched movies and thought that it was like a job that your neighbor did. I didn't know they were celebrities. I thought that Tom Hanks was just some guy that had this job and he was an actor. That status thing didn't exist for me. So when I got here, it was crazy. I was like, oh shit, like people are like celebrities here. So it was very strange for me. But again, I was just so excited.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
I want to ask you about one of your early auditions that you had in the industry where a director asked you to go to his house for an audition late on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Can you just explain what happened when you got there?
Yeah. I didn't know what an audition or what the process really, what that looked like. An agency that I was working at as a model, I said, listen, I'm interested, so naively, didn't know how you went about being an actor. I said, if you hear of any auditions, I'd like to go. And they said, oh, we think there's a casting for this movie and you have to go on Saturday night. And they gave me the address and it was this director's house. And the little voice inside me definitely said, this isn't right. But then the other voice in me says, well, I don't know. Maybe it is right. But you know, that that voice that we don't listen to, that voice knew. That voice was like, this isn't right. And it wasn't right.
And as women, like we're constantly in positions where we almost like we want to be like, no, I'm overreacting. Like there's no way I'm going to get there and it's going to be weird. There's no way.
And even when it is weird, you're talking yourself out of, this isn't weird. Like, no, I'm taking this the wrong way. That's not what he's he's not. And by the way, this guy, he got a little nervous for a while there. I've never said his name because honestly, I don't want the story to be about him. You know, honestly, it's not because I'm protecting him or anything, but he got nervous for a little bit.
Why?
Because he heard me tell the story and he knew it was about him. And he wrote me a pretend letter trying to explain his behavior and how I must have misunderstood it, which is classic, isn't it? It's so classic.
No, Charlize.
Yeah.
He wrote you a letter?
Yeah, because I think he panicked. He started panicking.
Of course.
He was like waiting for me. And I just realized like, I won't even fucking say your name because you know you're the scumbag. Like, you know it's you. And if anybody ever asked me about him, I would be completely honest. And he knows that. And I kind of like that he's got to be on a hot seat. He doesn't know when it's going to come. I kind of like that a little more.
I'm so sorry because like I opened up in my documentary about this person in a position of power that abused their power and sexually harassed me and all the things. And coming forward about it, I had like such anxiety. And it's interesting because it's like you're in a position of power now. You were so young in your career. From what I understand, this was like a huge director.
Yeah, huge.
And the power imbalance being there in that room on a late Saturday night, what the fuck are you going to do? And most people would be like, well, why don't you just get up and leave and yell and go immediately report it? And it's like, it's so nuanced and complicated. Like, can you just explain, because I have so many women listening, like a little bit about in those moments now when you look back, how to not feel such shame and guilt for something that clearly was not your fault?
Yeah, it's so hard to even, it's like we can only share these experiences and we can talk about them enough so that hopefully it becomes normalized, that we hear it enough where women can just go like, okay, I've heard about this time. Like, while you're sitting in there, you can hopefully say like, okay, force yourself to do this thing that we maybe, the point that I'm trying to make is that we have to be careful because it's very hard for people to understand why someone with a strong personality, someone who's outspoken, how someone like that can find themselves in a position where they won't say something. And that is the story that it's a classic story, right? It's very, very complicated. And even though I want younger generations of women to not do the same thing, I also understand if they do the same thing, because I drove up Laurel Canyon And I was so mad at myself. I remember like being furious with myself because I couldn't believe how I had let myself down. Like I was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you? Like, why the fuck would you allow that? Like, why? I still get those feelings, you know, because it's like you know yourself so well, and there's something that really like kind of like breaks my heart to the core when people so in this very luxurious manner talk about, well, you know what, next time you should fucking say something. Like, don't wait 20 years, okay? This kind of like callous way of not wanting to believe. Like, that's really what it boils down to. It's instead of saying like, I don't believe you, it's like, well, don't be a fucking pussy. Like, maybe you shouldn't have been a pussy about it. And we all know what that feels like. It feels like no matter what they say, it can't hurt more than what you're telling yourself. Like, I beat myself up over that. I was like, you can say whatever that you want, motherfucker. Trust me, you can't hurt me more than I hurt myself about what happened that day.
I mean, even just listening to you say it, it brings up so much, I think, for every woman probably listening, because you're so right in those moments. I remember I was sitting, every time I talk about it, it makes me emotional, because when I was sitting on the stage at Tribeca, because that's where my documentary premiered, and I did a Q&A after, and I started talking about power imbalance and when someone does something to you and you're in this moment and you freeze or you fawn or whatever it be. And I'm looking at the audience, and there's like a couple hundred people in this audience, and I'm looking at all these women's faces, and multiple women have just like that look where I almost wanted to pause and be like,
I see you. Yeah.
How many women in this room? How many? And I'm not kidding you, Charlize. I literally think almost every fucking hand would have gone up. And it breaks my heart, because I'm like, holy shit, this is happening as we're sitting here. Some woman is experiencing this feeling. And I agree with you. I think for me, I relate a lot to what you're saying of being someone that's so outspoken. I do think a lot of people are like, there's no way that would happen to you. There's no way. And it's like, oh no, the minute you're in that room, you're not yourself. You are the smallest version of yourself. You don't even remember who you are. And the minute you walk out the door, you kind of start to remember. And that's when the shame hits you, because you're like, wait, how did I not just... I said it to my husband less than a year ago. I had an executive say some of the most insane shit to me. And I'm Alex Cooper. I'm me. I'm supposed... Literally froze.
Yeah.
Froze.
Yeah.
So if it's happening to me now... and it happened to me back then when I didn't have a voice, there is no through line of this can't happen to her. It doesn't matter where the fuck you are on the totem pole of power and success as a woman. When those men get you in that position, or there's a power imbalance, you're fucked.
Or in your case, a woman. I think that story isn't told enough.
Definitely not.
So I'm grateful, and I really respect your choice in wanting to tell that story, because I think, just as I feel like when I meet men who have experienced this kind of power play, I think that we need to tell these stories so that we can understand that we're not alone. Like, that's the thing, right? And it's hard to tell them in a world where people don't want to fucking believe you. It's really, really hard. Doesn't make it easy for us. And when it starts to sound repetitious and it's like, oh, it's the same story again. It's like, yeah, but guess what? We're all made of the same fucking we're human beings. And until you are in this fucking environment, don't tell me how you're going to behave, because I will not let a motherfucker fuck with me any day of the week. Like, step up. But when somebody catches you off guard like that, you know, I don't like want to get emotional about it, but I think it's the fact that it's in an instant, within seconds, somebody is telling you your value, and they're telling you you're not really that valuable. Because guess what? I was never going to get a part that night. And I knew that as soon as I left. Like, when I was driving up Laurel Canyon, I knew I wasn't there because I had some value that I was going to bring to this man's movie. I was there for one thing. I was only valued for one thing. That was it. So when somebody does that to you, you will fucking freeze. No matter who you are, you will fucking freeze.
And the conversation you also brought up of why did it take you so long, right?
Yeah.
I had experienced some people being like, oh, 10 years? It took you 10 years?
Yeah. Now that you have this platform, now all of a sudden you want to talk about it.
And it's like,
yeah.
10 years, yes. Because like you just said, when you're driving up Laurel and you're leaving that moment, and how quickly you realize your worth and who you are, and then you're mad at yourself, it starts to almost seep into every single decision and interaction you go forward having in that industry, whether or in your relationships, whatever it seeps into. So yes, it took me that long because I had to repair what that person broke in me, and I had to find a way back, and it still fucking hurts, and I still feel uncomfortable, and I still cry about it. There's no closure, but there's a little bit of a semblance of healing. But yeah, it took 10 fucking years, and sometimes people are going to live the rest of their lives and never get to feel any bit of healing. So like, there is no timeline.
There's also the complication of, I feel when I watch your documentary how much you love playing soccer. Someone's taking something away from you that you love so much. So there's that fear on top of it, right? Like I remember I had this constant kind of worry for myself. Like I was like, if I don't make this work, like the alternative is just so fucking dark. Like I don't want to have this other life. And so that was like the added thing on top of it was like, they're fucking with something that you really love. So it makes it even harder. It makes it more complicated. That's their power.
Yes.
That's their power over you.
That's the why didn't you speak up? But most of these women are sitting there and like, this is my job.
Yeah.
This is what it's so complicated. So I think the takeaway for any woman listening is also just like, we see you. Yeah. There is no answer, and
we're not sitting here saying because of our experiences, you should do this. You're probably not.
And we understand.
And we need to be a community that can support each other. We can stand together.
Truly. Yeah.
And fuck those fuckers.
Fuck those pieces of fucking shit.
Fuck those
fuck
fuckers.
You fucking motherfucking ass bitch. Fuck you. What have you learned? That's the beginning of your career. What have you then learned about your own strength through this crazy time in the industry that you've had?
I feel fortunate that that I think I don't mean this in like a feel sorry for me way, but I feel like I had a hard childhood. I think it set me up for an industry that's hard. I'm hoping that it can become less hard. I'm trying to be part of solving the problem. But I think it was the thing that helped me. It kind of set me up in a way where I was so the fish out of water. Like, you don't understand. Like, if you look at a map, that's where I was. And this is like, it was so, I'd never been on a plane. Like I'd never left South Africa. It was so insane to be that kind of a fish out of water. But the core of my experience as a child and being a survivor really, really helped me. It just really helped me to kind of, and this is not, I'm not prescribing this to anybody because I don't want this for my own daughters, but I could suck it up.
Coming from a situation where you weren't really privy to the information about Hollywood, you had a really rough childhood, then you get here. Like, did you ever get to a point where you felt like you could lean in and be proud of your success, or what is your relationship to success? Like, have you had like an I made it moment and you're like, this is fucking
when
great.
I got that $75,000, I was like, I'm done. I have had many moments like that because I think I always, I think what happens when you experience death at a young age, I'm not speaking for everybody, but for me, it made me hyper aware of time. And I also think that growing up in South Africa, at the time that I did when AIDS just ravaged my country in a way, it brought it to its knees. As a woman, you just couldn't help but feel like you were going to die of AIDS. Like, that's just what it was like. Like, I had this constant fear every time I had sex with somebody. I was like, I have AIDS. Like I would go and get tested. And so I had this constant feeling of time running out. So when good shit came my way, I really I felt it. But I also felt this thing kind of chasing me, like time's going to run out, time's going to run out, time's going to run out. Like you got to get it all in. You got to pack it all in. You got to get it done, which is a horrible way to go through your 20s. So I have had I've had great success and I've had a ton of great opportunities come my way. I've always said this. I really believe this. It is not just about talent. There are people out there that I know that are way surpass my talent that will never have the opportunities that I had to showcase them. These are all things that I'm so aware of. So I try to, it's gotten better now that I'm older, for sure. Like I can definitely sit in a moment. I don't feel like I have to make a movie every 5 seconds. I feel like I have other things that are more, that I kind of gauge my success at. It's not just work related. But I also, listen, after you win an Oscar, there's a part of you that can go, oh shit, like, what do I do now? Like, how do I, what am I stepping up to now? Like, everything's going to be shit after this. And then after you realize, like, yeah, it's probably going to be shit, you just go like, well, the fuck that then I'm just going to fucking make movies that I want to make. Like, I got an Oscar, bitch. Like, I got nothing else to prove. So let me just fucking make shit that I want to make.
So fucking
It's
nice.
great. It's very freeing.
Something I think a lot of people obviously respect you for is the way that you have transformed yourself for so many roles. Like you've gone bald, you've gained 50 pounds, like you've gone bald sounds like
I was like, that was a shaved head,
No,
bitch.
no,
Like,
you
we don't have to
shaved
go
your head.
that far.
No, but like, you know what I mean? You've gone bald. You know what I mean? Well, you were bald. You shaved your head.
There's a buzz and there's bald. Like,
You've gone bald. You're like,
Yeah.
I buzzed my hair.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
you've really taken things to the extreme. How, when you were doing those things within your career, did it affect your confidence or did it not?
No, I found it very freeing. I think that it's much easier for me to kind of lose myself when I'm working to really kind of be a good actor. Like if I look in the mirror and I see Charlize, I'm like, oh, like this is just all feeling like now I'm just feeling like I'm being like a fake version of myself. I don't know. There's something for me. Maybe it's because I come from the world of dance. There is a real appreciation for costume and music and like this kind of vibe that you have to set to this world that you're creating. And I don't know how to work without that. Like I am always in awe of actors who can just, Philip Seymour Hoffman, just be Philip Seymour Hoffman and be fucking amazing in every movie, but that's not who I am. Like I really rely on finding a character from the outside in almost sometimes.
Let's talk about your dating life.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Hard pivot. Let's swerve. Okay.
So when you were bald.
So when I literally was about to say, so now that you're not bald anymore. Okay, so obviously we spoke about it earlier. You've been outspoken about never wanting to probably get married.
Yeah.
And once you kind of accepted that, like how has that impacted your dating life, knowing that you're not looking for marriage, like with men, and how has it affected them with you?
Well, I think there's okay, let me just be clear. Marriage is a long-term commitment. And I think I want long-term commitment. I just don't need to get married. So I just want to clarify that. I will tell you in all honesty and the work that I've done on myself, I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that I have a tremendous fear of not being able to get out of something. And that's, again, me just understanding me, right? And, now, obviously, by California laws, after 7 years, you're in a fucking marriage, whether you walk down the aisle and sign the piece of paper, like, it's 50-50, bitch. Like, let's just be clear. So I'm like, my semantics is like crazy, but I want, if I were to find a relationship, I would think of it as something that I'm aiming for long term. I've never been somebody that really wants to like jump from one thing to another. From the time that I was in relationships, I was in one relationship after another relationship after another relationship. And so when I earlier said I'm having sex now for the first time like I never had before, is because I'm not in relationships. And it's not because I don't want to be in relationships, but I'm seeing things for what they are, right? I'm not trying to force a circle into a square, or whatever the fucking American saying is, the peg and the hole and I can never say it right.
I think that was right.
No, but when I meet somebody, I can see where it's going to go pretty quickly.
What is relationship you like versus single you?
So this is what we were talking about earlier. Like, I am ashamed of being a person in a relation, or that I used to be. I should speak now. I've done a lot of work, but I used to be someone in relationships that would lose herself. And again, it's that thing, you're such a fucking power bitch. Like, you're a baller. Like, why? That couldn't be you. But it goes back to how I looked at girls who were I've never really had a lot of practice in just being confident and like saying, I've always felt like I've had to like protect other people so much that codependency has just remained in my relationships. So I used to be a person that would watch herself, would also attract narcissists, men who wanted me to kind of treat them that way. And if I didn't, there was a lot of conflict, and I actually don't like conflict. Yet again, something people are always surprised. I don't like conflict, but when I feel like if I feel like I have to choose between conflict or just placating, then I will placate because I don't want the conflict.
But when you're in those type of relationships that you've lost yourself, how have you pulled yourself out?
Friends. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great friends. Like, now I'm going to cry. Just great girlfriends. Wow. Yeah, because I think sometimes you can't see when you're in it.
At all.
And you need a friend that doesn't hit you over the head, because you won't leave until you can see it for yourself. And a good girlfriend knows that. And so they support you while you're in the darkness, because that's all you have. Like, you need that support. And I've put some girlfriends through fucking hell. So yeah, I love that the show's for women. Fucking girlfriends. You need good girlfriends.
But I think that the biggest also point that I want to highlight that you just said is like, there's a difference between being a really good girlfriend and then when someone's in a really unhealthy relationship, making them feel shame about it and being like, we can't fucking do this again. We can't.
You're an idiot.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You then pull away. And if anything, you lean more towards the person you're in the relationship with.
The dysfunction.
And we've all been there. If you have one of those great friends, and I've had it with my friend where I was in a horrible situation, and then when you give them a light opening because you're really looking for them to pull you out, and they're like, okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, and then they slowly pull you, and then you're out, but it takes you opening even like a crack in the door.
Yeah.
Because if you don't want to hear it, it's like the same thing like we were saying earlier with therapy. You can't fucking force someone to go to therapy. They're going to sit there with their... They're like, I'm not going to listen to you. They have to be ready. And the only way they're going to come to you, though, as a friend, is if you've been there with them. And I know it's hard as a friend, but there's always
so hard. That's
so
the thing
hard.
that makes me emotional, because it's the patience. And it's so hard when someone you love so much is just constantly hitting their head on the same wall. And all you want to do is to remove them from the situation. And you know that you can't, and you have to like walk this fine line. I don't know what I did in a past life. I really do not what I did in a past life, but fuck me. I have been blessed with really, really good people in my life.
That's half the battle.
I'm a lucky bitch.
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Neutrogena. Summer is here and the sun is shining. You need powerful sun protection that feels light on your skin. Meet Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Sunscreen. This SPF 70 lotion absorbs fast with a smooth, dry touch finish, so you'll forget you're even wearing it. It blocks 97% of burning UV rays and is water resistant for up to 80 minutes. Lightweight, effective, and perfect for sunny days. It's just what your summer needs. Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Sunscreen. You can't feel. Shop now at Target.
When you're having these like fun little new romance moments that you're in your era of not dating, but you're getting to have good sex.
Yeah.
How are we meeting these men? Are they men in the industry? Do you not want a man in the industry?
I don't. No,
You
my
don't.
God, no. I have zero interest. And again, like I say these things, you know, in a very glib way, but I don't think that dating somebody in my industry is a smart thing.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
not. It's everything. And I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying that it's that binary. I just think that in general, it's not a good thing for me.
So how are you meeting these people? Are you on the apps? Are you out dating? Are you?
I am on the apps, but I don't use the apps. I am.
Love that. It's so relatable.
I have a few friends that are very, very good, and one of them I know is listening to this right now, who always is like, "Okay, you need to come here right now, and you need to meet this person." And I'm very grateful for her, and you know who you are. And I have not been brave enough on a lot of her offers, but recently I have, and it has paid off tremendously. And so. Yes, my dear friend Amanda out there, when she says like, you need to just, we'd be in fucking Paris, be like, you just need to fucking like come and say hi to this guy right now.
So fun.
And yeah, and then it totally pays off. And I'm like, yeah, I need to do that more often, honestly, because the apps are just horrible.
Oh, it's hard.
No, it's not hard. It's a clown show. I'm sorry, guys, but please, like, no, like I need, like, honestly, not because I want to date you, but because I want to help you. No Burning Man photos, no photos of you with other women. Like, I don't care. I don't want to know that you have girlfriends, and I don't want you shooting a fucking selfie in your closet of your hand in a jean pocket. I'm sorry. I don't want to see you looking at yourself in a mirror that way. It makes my vagina close. I just can't. And don't tell me you're a CEO, because you're not. Like, I'm sorry. Of what? Of some business you can't explain to me that none of my friends can understand? Like, no. And then, no, you don't live in this apartment no, you do not have a business. Stop. You're a fucking joke. You know, I get wet when you just tell me who you are. Like, don't be pretentious. I'm sorry.
Picturing you on the fucking apps with your girlfriends over like wine one night, being like, let's just open this shit up.
Well, by the way, that's how it started. I was like drunk enough to have a girlfriend be like, let's just fucking do it. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And that's how I ended up on this fucking app. Listen, I could take myself off the app, but I am like secretly fucking enjoying the joke.
It's great.
It's the joke. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean.
No, it's okay.
I'm not trying to be mean. But like, I'm trying to like help. This is like, think of this as like help. As I'm a 50-ass-year-old woman telling you, don't do it. Girls don't like it. They don't fucking like it.
It's so true.
Yeah.
The hand in the jean in the closet.
Can't. I just can't. I'm sorry.
The CEO is also crazy.
Oh
and
my
he like
God.
works for his dad.
Yeah.
He works for his dad. Okay, how do we feel about sex on the first date?
Well, so I like, what do you consider a date?
Oh, are you going on dates?
Yeah, but I feel like when you like, there's certain circumstances where you meet somebody at a party and you have sex and then that's it. You know, that's what it is. You're not thinking you're going to marry this person.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Are you down for a one night stand?
Yes. I don't have many of them. I'm sitting here sounding like I do. So when I do, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I should have done this in my 20s. I was married from the time that I was like having sex to the time that I had my last relationship. Then I had children. Who has fucking time for dates and shaving and waxing and makeup? And like, I've got 2 children that have to go to school. Then I gotta, like, this shit's on a time. Like, do you need me to send you a call time?
I'm obsessed.
And it's this, you got 2 hours. Like, what's happening? Because like, I need to know.
Wait, do you have any
Sex tip for the girls.
Sex tip. Like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, how to have good sex? How to what? Have an orgasm?
Anything that like you think of girls could just like, you're hot, you're having good sex.
Okay, you're like, I almost choked. I am the last person to ask. I'm like sounding very cocky here, but I think it's because I have found this freedom in my 40s where I'm like, oh my God. So I just want to say this in perspective. I've probably had 3 one-night stands in my entire life.
Okay.
But I did just recently fuck a 26-year-old and it was really fucking amazing.
Fuck yes.
Yes. And I've never done that. And I was like, oh, this is great. Okay.
Let me just say that 26-year-old is the luckiest fucking man walking on this goddamn planet. He's walking different today, knowing, oh my God.
He for sure is not, but thank you.
No, he is. He is.
I will just say this. Like, I wish that this goes back to, I think this is kind of like a thread throughout our conversation. Women who come across as confident, women who come across as like outspoken, ones that wouldn't speak up for themselves, tend to also be in bed people who want to please males. Like, and I have found this in my experiences with talking to other women about this. Isn't it strange? Like, we should be the ones that are like, fuck you. Like, I'm going to have an orgasm. And yet my whole life was so concerned about
Same.
the same. Okay.
Oh my God.
So my advice would be this. Don't fucking do that. For 2 reasons. You're going to have better orgasms. And guess what? Your man's going to like that.
They're going to have such a better time too.
Yes.
It's so true. It's really hard. I think back to my 20s and in college, like I was so thinking I was doing the right thing. And when you get the feedback of how great it was, and then you're walking away feeling great, but then you're also like, I don't know if I've even had an orgasm in my life before. Like, this is kind of, is this what it's supposed to do and be and what? And then the minute, and it takes reps. Like sometimes it just takes you like getting, because no man is like, unless he's the most amazing man in the world, which go find him, but no.
Not going to happen.
It's all of these men, it's about them. And they're not actually being like, I know it takes you longer than my fucking dick just getting off in 2 seconds. So it's like, it's a process to you advocating for yourself in the bedroom, being like, hold on, and actually then speaking up. But it takes time. But I agree, once you hit that part of your life where it's not just like, oh, I'll just like do it and then like he'll get off and like I'm like faking it, your life changes.
And practice helps. You just have to practice and then you'll figure it out. Yeah.
That's good advice, see?
Yeah. In the safe way, please.
Okay, yeah, please. Please, for the love of God. Okay, what is the biggest dating disaster you've ever had?
Oh my God. I had a guy once ask me to make out with his nose, which was really, really probably one of the most bizarre asks ever. Yes, in a very like he was getting off on it. That was really gross. I would say aside from that, nobody's ever asked me to do something that I was like, whoa, that's really fucking weird. Like, I guess I like weird shit. Like, I'm not like thrown by weird shit. Like the nose thing was the weirdest thing.
That'll do it.
Yeah. But I'm not like thrown easily. So that's why I think I'm kind of like, I'm like, oh, that sounds, well, let's see what happens.
Let's give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to play a game.
I'm having the best
Okay,
time.
you are?
We are crying and we are laughing and we are
I'm never going to get over the bald comment. Like that. Jail for me. Okay. All right. I'm going to go through some dating scenarios and I want your opinion. Are you in or are you out?
Wow. Okay.
Okay. He tells you he loves you after 1 month.
That's usually what I would do.
Charlize!
That's like a Charlize move. Oh my God. This is like a constant joke between me and my friends. This is how unhealthy I am. Like, I just will tell you I love you in a heartbeat. Like, I've never understood this conversation. Like, have you ever been in love? I'm like, motherfucker, I'm in love all the time. Like, I while I'm fucking you, I'll tell you I love you. Like, and for a long time, I was like, this is not healthy. And then I just went, this is who I am. Like, honestly, like, I'm not going to beat myself up over this anymore. So I'm going to say that's okay. I don't know if I want to hear it from a guy, though.
Fair. So fair.
I feel like, again, it's like the photo, the selfie. Like, no.
Like, calm down.
Yeah. Let me be the one that's like, I think I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And make me chase you just a little bit.
Yeah.
God, don't be
Can you believe it? I'm in love with you.
Then you're you're literally at home being like, oh my God, I can't believe he believes that. Anyways.
But maybe I am.
How quickly do you actually think you know if you're in love with someone?
In all seriousness, I feel like I have the ability to go there pretty easily. For someone who is as like, have been so, I think maybe it is because I've been so protective of my life and have to protect so many things in my life that there is, and it's maybe why acting feels safe to me. I have the ability to kind of like go into that kind of like reckless, vulnerable place.
It's beautiful.
Easily. Yes.
Have you ever had a guy tell you that he loved you and you were not on the same page?
Yes. Yes.
It's tough.
Yes.
And do you just let them down easy, or?
I am going to be honest with you. I'm not good at letting people off the hook easily.
Do you say it back?
No, I don't say it back, but I don't know how to, like, I will pretend and then I'll probably ghost. Like, I know it's really terrible and I have to work on that.
I love it.
But after that, I just don't know, like, it's part of me is like, I don't know. It's a lot of time to get into like the softness of all of this. And sometimes I just think it's easier to just be like, let's just not. Yeah.
Let's not. Because I don't love you.
Yeah.
And it's easy for me to tell people I love them. So if I can't say it back, you're really a fucking loser.
There's a big problem here. Like, it's not going to happen.
Holy shit. Okay. You caught him going through your phone.
No, I don't like stuff like that.
Have you ever caught someone?
Listen, when most of my dating and serious relationships happened, there were no iPhone.
She's like, no iPhone gang over here.
Yeah, we didn't have that problem. We didn't have, I mean, like, isn't
Love.
that? Yeah, but I don't like stuff like that. Even with my kids, like my kids find it really hard that I'm like, I don't want to go through your phone. I want to be able to trust you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Have you ever been cheated on?
Yes.
How did you find out?
I found out after, not while I was in the relationship, but I always felt it. Like, again, it's that little voice. Yeah, but it wasn't worse for me because part of me was like, that wasn't the reason why I broke up with the person. And also, I don't think it was constant all the way through. I think it was like towards the end, or it was like somebody thought like a blowjob wasn't cheating, like shit like that, But
classic them not thinking of blowjob is cheating. Just the classic white stuff of men. Like, that doesn't count. Oh yeah, no, you getting your dick sucked did not count for sure.
No, not at all.
Totally
yes,
fine.
100%.
Did you ever confront him about it, or no? You just let it go?
No, because most of the time I found out afterwards, and then by then I was like, I couldn't give two fucks.
Okay, he hates cursing and asks you to stop saying fuck.
Impossible. Absolutely. If I can't do that in front of my children, do you really think I'm going to do that for you? Go fuck yourself. And I don't even love you here. Like, this is like before I've even told you I love you. So
true.
Yeah.
True. Okay. What is something you'll never compromise on in a relationship?
Now? Mm-hmm. I think I've talked about it. I will not lose myself. I will not make myself smaller, and I will not do things that are not authentically. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be selfish, but I will not make myself somebody that I'm not for you to feel better about being in a relationship with me.
I fucking love it.
Oh, thanks.
No. Because it's like you being aware that that's your one thing. We all have that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I had that for so long where it was like, everyone knows that one thing that you're like, okay, this next time I've got to stand my ground and I can't let myself do X, Y, or Z. And I think that like, for me, mine was like, I really loved the games. Like, I was like addicted to like the push and the pull and the put. And
the
I'm
drama.
like,
you wanted the drama. Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And like, I want to feel safe. So why am I doing this? And finally,
why?
We're still working on that. I still don't fully know why.
Do
I
you
was
still
doing
do
that.
it? Or,
no.
Okay.
I am so happy.
You're aware of it now.
Matt was the first person that literally, it was like like a month or so in, and he was like, I don't know what you're doing, but I have literally no interest in it. So let me know if you want to continue or I'm done. And I was literally like,
wow,
I'm in love with you.
But you obviously didn't stop it straight away.
No,
like,
it was a concerted effort for me to recognize like I had become used to a pattern.
Yeah.
And it became familiar to me. And then you jump right into the next thing. And a lot of it made me feel like if we fight, then when we come back together, we feel closer. And it was a bad cycle I got into. And then Matt was the first person that I broke that cycle for. And it was like I made such different life decisions with him that I was like, wow, I must really love you that I'm trying this hard to like not
That's
be.
amazing.
Yeah. So, you know,
That's amazing.
we all have our thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you told him right there you loved him. That was
Yeah,
it.
then I was
That
like,
the
let me take my pants off, fuck me, and I love you. All in one night. Let's go. Woo!
No
He's
games
like,
here.
this bitch is crazy.
You're like, you want no games?
No, literally, let's go.
Yeah.
But actually, that is
We're
something
getting married.
No, tonight. Let's go to Vegas. He's like, you're insane.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your new movie, The Old Guard 2.
Yeah.
What does it feel like playing this character again? Like, is it exciting to get to do something a second time?
Yes, it's challenging, but also yes, it's exciting because I've been wanting to do television for a while or like a limited series because I've never experienced having several hours to kind of build arc and explore a character. And so like my 20s, it's always felt like pack it in 2 hours or under 2. And so this was nice because it gave me an opportunity to kind of like go and revisit a character that I had played before, and I'd never done that before. But it also makes it challenging because then you're like, well, what do I want to go and explore? Like, what are the themes that or the behaviors that I didn't feel like I fully fleshed out on the first one? So then it becomes complicated in that sense, but good complicated.
Okay, you're hanging out of a helicopter in the movie.
Yeah.
How do you even train for something like that?
You don't. There's no training for that. I wanted to do something. I don't like risk. I like challenging myself, but I'm actually not like like I have kids. And even prior to that, I'm not like someone who's like, I don't give a fuck. Let's just jump off this roof and see what happens in the water. And I'm not one of those people, but I do like the challenge of being a producer and being able to have some power over talking about that developmental part of what is the narrative and the action, because that's where you can start to challenge yourself a little bit. And if you're making these movies, you should be asking those questions.
Right. What is the most insane stunt that you've ever done in your career?
Well, that would probably be one of them.
Yeah.
But if you hear the story behind it, it's not as crazy. It looks insane. That's why we did it. But it was explained to me by this incredible man, Fred North, who is like the guru of all helicopter stuff and movies. He's like, this is really safe. No one's ever really done this. And you can do this completely practical. And that's really what I was looking for, was to do something that we didn't have to go on a stage and fake. And, that I could have some cred and have a behind the scenes video that looked really fucking badass. And I could be like, yeah, and that's me right there. But yeah, so that's probably the craziest things. But I've done hard. I mean, I just had elbow surgery 4 weeks ago. I did this movie in Australia. I just wrapped it like a couple of months ago. I play like a professional rock climber, like a free soloist, kind of like rock climber. And I worked with a mad director from like Iceland who just like was like, you have to climb the mountain. And I was like, holy fuck, like he's going to actually make me climb this fucking mountain. He's like, for the next 3 weeks, we are only shooting this mountain and you are climbing this mountain. And I fucking climbed that mountain barefoot, like no shoes. Like it was insane. I look at the footage now, like I go back to the dailies and I go, what the fuck? But it's amazing. It's like you're in it and you just kind of go like, wow, it feels good to feel this strong that I can do this.
Picturing you barefoot climbing up and just being like,
yeah, and they were making these silicone feet for me to protect my feet and stuff. And I was like, I'm from Africa. Okay. I didn't have shoes until I was 13. Like I climbed trees. I don't have, and I was a dancer. I have no fucking feeling in my feet. Okay.
Put me in.
Yes. I'm going to be fine, you guys.
She's perfect for this role.
Yeah.
Thank God we got her here. Holy shit. This is amazing.
At the end, this madman of a director who's fucking brilliant and I love him. He never gave me one compliment. It was like my dad relationship all over again. I was trying to please this motherfucker every single day. I'd like be on the top of the mountain. I'd be like, my elbow, I couldn't feel. My fucking toe was broken. My ribs were, and he'd be like walking away. And I'd be like, what did he think? He's like, oh, he went home. And at the end of the film, he like pulled me and he was like, you were fucking amazing. And I was like, all right, I deserve that.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got the approval.
Yeah.
Thank God. Did your daughters go to the premiere last night?
My youngest likes to kind of like just ride along with me. The movie isn't right for her. She's too young. There's too much violence in it. But she walked with me because she knew I was going to go home afterwards. So she just walked. She just waited for me, and I said a little thank you in the theater, and then we went home. And I was like, she was like, why don't we watch? I said, no, I'm so tired. Like, we're going to go home. We're going to have a girls' night and we're going to have ice cream. And we got like the ice cream out of the freezer and I had like a half a pound of ice cream. And then I fell asleep like an old man, literally. Like, she was like, really, this is our date? Like,
this is your premiere night?
Yeah.
I wish that was the headline. Like, you're in this gorgeous outfit and then you get home. Little does everyone know, you're like, I'm on the couch with my ice cream.
Like, I was having a Haagen-Dazs, and I was like, I should walk this down to the freezer because it's going to melt. And I was like, fuck that. Nope. I'm rich. It's fine. It's a half a pound of fucking Haagen-Dazs. Like, what am I worried about?
It's so good. Do your daughters understand like who you are and what you do fully?
I couldn't tell you. You know, I feel like maybe. I think that they're also they've been around it. I've most of the movies that I've made since they've been around have been during the summer because I don't want to leave them. So they've been on every set that I've worked on from the time that they've been in my life. So they know that is mom's job. They obviously don't, they don't watch the kind of movies that I make. So in their eyes, I'm like some dinosaur, right? And so like every once in a while when I work with somebody, they're like, wait, you know her? Like, oh, Renee Rapp's coming on Saturday? Or like what? Like every once in a while, I'm like, yeah, motherfuckers. Like,
I'm cool.
Yeah. So I was just driving here and my oldest daughter, who's a real bitch, like she does not make it easy on me one bit. Like she does not suffer fools easily. She has never given me a compliment in my fucking life. I was driving here. She was at a sleepover and I called her to tell her that, her sister was coming home and she goes, oh, I really liked what you wore last night. I almost fell off my chair. The phone fell out of I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, be cool, be cool, be cool.
You're like, thanks.
Yeah. So they play with my emotions, I think.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
It sounds like you are such an incredible mother. You're a great daughter. And you've had such an incredible career and you will continue to have such an incredible career. And like, this is why I love my job is getting to meet you. I had no idea what to expect. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know.
This fucking woman that can't keep a man. Like, this nutty bitch. Like, let's see how this.
Bald.
Now I understand.
But I didn't know, And I think, not that it was bad or good. I was just like, oh, I'm excited to meet you.
Yeah, yeah.
And in getting to speak with you, it's so inspiring hearing what you've done with your career, what you've done with your family. I think it's such a testament to women. And it's really, I hope, a message to women of like, you really can create your own path. Yeah. Your past doesn't define you, but be aware of your childhood and any trauma you've had. Yeah. And you've done such an incredible job, like making your own version of what you want your life to be, which is so inspiring for women to hear.
Yeah. And I'm still trying.
Of course.
I'm still figuring it out.
Of course.
Yeah. But we should definitely try for sure. Life is too short.
As you enter this next gorgeous decade of your life, what are you the most excited for?
Okay. So everyone's like talking about the celebration. You're the first person that's ever asked me, like, what is this next chapter in my life, right? I think outside of what I touched upon, which is that I do think about like, because it's very real. My oldest is about to be 14. Like, I will be an empty nester soon. I think about that a lot because I love my fucking kids so much that they can never know. because I can't imagine my life without them. And the idea of them not being in my fucking house, like, scares me enough to be like, who is this sad man that I am going to fucking catch in 6 years and be like, you can have my whole closet. Just don't let me be alone in this house.
So real.
Aside from thinking about that, I don't know, because work feels really satisfying. I really feel so blessed and so lucky that I get to do something every single day that I love. It doesn't feel like work. And I'm glad that I get to show my kids what that looks like. To find something that you love, that if you can have a life where you don't feel like you're working, but you are working hard, that's a very rewarding life. And not all of us get to have that. So if I can continue that, and make sure that my kids are okay, like, that's going to be okay for me. I'm going to be okay.
This is good to know. So whenever we see you pop up with a man, we're like, oh, the kids moved out. That's literally our barometer.
Oh, she must be 18.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. She's miserable because the kids are gone. This is just the fucker that happened to be at the coffee shop earlier that day that she's like, you're moving in with me, motherfucker. And he's like, shit, I get to be with Charlize Theron.
My secret's out. I just fucked myself. Yeah. Well, there goes my vagina's joy. Like, that's not happening anymore. Thank you,
Dude,
Alex. Really great.
No,
I will tell this man I love him before I know his name. I will hook him so fast.
And you'll hook him up. Good closet, nice life. We're doing it right. We're doing it right.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming on. This was truly a pleasure.
Oh,
you're such a good hang. And it felt like I forgot there were cameras. Like, it just felt like we were having really nice girl talk.
I was looking forward to this because it's nice to know you. Like, I feel, not in a weird way, I'm not going to tell you I love you.
Come on.
It's nice to know a little bit about you. And I'm a huge fan, by the way.
Well, I'm a huge fan too. So look at us. Woo!